Ice
Joke.
is
Right.
Brooke.
What is up, everybody? We are live. We have a lot of viewers on Zero right now. How is everybody doing? I have Gabe Foley on, does incredible work. You can find him on Twitter and stuff. I'll drop the link below after this. But how are you doing, Gabe?
Oh, doing great. Doing great. Happy to have a chance to sit down with you. We're in so many shared spaces. It was only a matter of time before it was just going to be us one
Just
on
us.
one chopping it up. I love it.
This is what I've dreamed of. Just yeah, the collab. But
The
I
proper
wanted
pairing.
I wanted to ask you because I know that we were talking about the Panthers scoring and they scored two.
They
And I
scored
know that
twice.
yeah, they scored twice. They scored in 8 seconds, Gabe told me. And I don't know, actually, the score scroller isn't working right now. I don't know what's going on with that. But usually there's obviously a scroller. But I wanted to get your opinion on the Panthers because right now in the tank race, they are sixth. Do you think that they're going to be picking that pick, and who do you think they could target?
Yeah, we were saying before we went live that Florida is one of the more fascinating teams in this draft class. That pick or where they land could come down to the last two or three games of the season. They could be a lottery candidate. I mean, New York jumped from what was it, 11 or 12 last year up to
Mhm.
one to get Schaefer. So Florida's going to be an interesting team, and they could go in any direction. They need an X factor prospect to push them into the new generation. You won back-to-back cups with this group. Kachuk's getting older, Bennett's getting older, so I think they could go in a lot of directions. We were on a mock draft last week where one of the bunker boys said that he could see him taking Oliver Suvanto, kind of the next in
Mm.
line of Barkov, the Lundell kind of players. I think it makes sense stylistically, does not make sense on the depth chart. I think they got to target a winger, someone like Ethan Belchetz, Vigo Bjork, we were talking about. That's a center, but hey, that's an X factor player through and through. Um, one of the defensemen, you got him up right here. They could run gambit on the top 10 and see who's fallen and pipeline them straight into a golden role. Yeah, Oscar Hemming here. I love that. That's a Florida kind of player, right?
Yeah, right there. Oscar Hemming, little baby Brady Martin, as
Yeah,
I coined him, but I don't know. He is the youngest player in the NCAA this year. It used to be Morozov of Miami, Ohio, but after he went, he's had a really good start. Obviously, his second half he slowed down a little bit, but I thought he played phenomenal. I know we were talking
yeah,
about a couple of the other NCAA players that their production wasn't as great, but he played phenomenal. And I
yeah,
think like Boston College, a team that could take him, was also Boston. They love taking guys in their backyard.
yeah. No kidding. And that James Higgins and Oscar Hemming pairing for the next 10
Yeah,
years plus, that'd be something else.
and the
And
Dean
the thing with
Letourneau. Yeah,
the Dean Letourneau on line two, Pasternak's the
yeah.
other winger with Hemming and Higgins. Even a 35-year-old Pasternak's going to be a stellar goal scorer. I don't think he'll ever fall off.
Honestly, we could see it right here. So let's go to Oscar Hemming. You guys haven't seen this is the GM builder on my site. Uh, Pasternak, where do you think he would play? Would Hemming be first on the? Wait, no. Let's see.
I
So
think
Pasternak.
you'd have to hope that Hemming could slot into that top line somehow, be the big body there with Higgins down the middle, or is Higgins a center anymore? That's
That's
another
true.
emerging question.
Let's see, because Hagen's signed his PTO, so I'm not sure where.
Yeah, he's in between. I think he might technically be on a tryout in the minors right now, so
Hmm.
that probably makes some rub too.
I mean, Lucas Reichel, just the top line center for them right there. That would be
Lucas
really
Reichel,
interesting.
Marat Hustadinov backing him up.
Dude, I do have to update some of the player names. It's been hard to get them all in, but James Hagens and Dean Letourneau will be there. But it is interesting to see like how players could fit into like people's rosters. Let's see your Blues, because the Blues have three
Oh,
first round picks. I mean, they got
Yeah.
the most in the entire league.
Yeah, I think what is it, 12 picks total this year? A
Yeah,
very un-St. Louis season. I love the draft class on the right hand side here. That's just so
yeah. Just
clean.
thank you. Just drag and release into it. So let's try to build a Blues roster with prospects because this actually has like all their prospects. You got like Otto Stenberg here as well, but over here, if you guys haven't seen, get all the AHL players. Justin Carbonneau is here. Kind of like, where do you think this lineup would go? Like, you guys got a
Yeah,
ton of prospects. Adam
this
Yurachek, I
is
mean,
such a fun discussion with St. Louis too, because they have too much depth in some areas and not enough in others. Uh, you watch Carbonneau play. That's a top line guy. I think
yeah.
he's the Hope's top line right wing, and maybe I guess Robert Thomas there in the middle
Right
until
wing?
he.
You think right wing?
Yeah, what's he listed on?
All right.
Because he plays both.
I have him as right, but I just wanted to make
Yeah,
sure. But yeah, Robert Thomas, I mean, I couldn't imagine what those kind of trade packages would be for him. Like
yeah,
four, four elite assets.
yeah. I think it
Otto
was four
Stenberg,
first round picks were the
four first
value.
round picks. Yeah. I mean, he's worth it, man. I mean, geez. In the if you guys actually want to see all of his stats and stuff, there's a prospect tab, and then you go to here, NHL rosters, and you could actually see like St. Louis with a B or S, sorry. And then you go to Robert Thomas, 49 points, 55 games. This guy's elite defensively too, like 81 points in 70 games last year. I mean, this guy is just exactly what you want in a top center. I mean, I thought the Habs were going to go after him.
I thought so too, which is funny because for the last 5 years, I've been comparing Robert Thomas and Nick Suzuki. Oh,
Oh
and his
wow,
status too. That's awesome.
it's what?
Your selections stay even as
Oh
you
yeah,
switch
yeah.
between tabs. That's great.
I made sure like if you wanted to save your progress, and if it's like a huge GM mode build, and you wanted to kind of compare your builds side by side, you can do that. I kind of thought about this all and have been holding on to it for a while because I didn't know how to do it. But then like something happened and I just like woke up one day and was like, oh, I just input that. Obviously, like it's
The
so easy
wires
once you figure it
connected.
out. Yeah. So I
That's
wanted
so
to
fun.
ask Otto Stenberg, where do you think he would fit in on this roster? And also Jordan Kyrou. I mean, you guys are pretty
Yeah.
loaded.
Yeah, Jordan Kyrou would be there under Carbonneau. He's been a second line right winger under Jim Montgomery, which has been a surprise. Stenberg's somewhere in that middle six. And the question is he left wing with Dvorsky in the middle?
Uh-huh.
Is he a second line left wing? I think that could come down to draft picks, but I would throw, let's see here, Dvorsky there to see. I'd put Buchnevich there, first line left wing.
All right. And then we could get into your
And
draft
then,
pick, your three draft
yeah,
picks in there, but I mean, this is pretty loaded already.
it's pretty loaded already. And the rub here, I want to ask you, you're a Hawks fan. I'm a Blues
Yep.
fan. We're going to be at wit's end about it. The conversation is, can St. Louis draft first overall?
Mm.
And it's a possibility, but I'll be nice to my Chicago brethren and say we're just selecting second overall.
I think that's the best case scenario for the Blues, though. I think that they would go. No, I think they would go Stenberg number one. I'm not. I'm not going to lie. I think that Otto
Fair
Stenberg thing.
enough.
I think they'd go him. I think he would be the perfect thing if it's Blues one, Blackhawks two, because then the Blackhawks don't have to pick.
True.
Blues have to make that tough decision, and if they
Yeah.
don't take Ivar, you gotta hope
Yeah.
Otto's not near him.
Yeah. Ivar Stenberg did an interview. I forget who he was with, but it was one of his team reporters over in Sweden. And he said that he's kind of hoping to land with the Blues.
Nice.
That's what he's working towards. So, hey, drop the mids. Welcome in.
What's up, Top the
Thanks for
Mids? How you
joining.
doing, dude?
I'm happy to see the chats coming in now. Um,
What's up, Trevor? How you
yeah, this
doing?
is great. Yeah,
133 people watched.
I
And
say we
34.
lean into what the players. 34.
Okay,
I see. I see.
136
I
now.
say
So
we lean into what the players want. Keep this build rolling. That's Ivar Stenberg spotted second line left wing.
all right, we'll do it. Drop any draft prospect in there. Obviously, there's not going to be
I think we should
pictures.
do that.
I want to just take pictures randomly off. I mean, I actually have a picture of Ivar. I have a bunch of them. I can just do that. Yeah, there'll be a picture of Ivar soon. All right. So, oh wait, actually, would Otto not play with his brothers? That would be interesting.
Yeah, I think he might be that 3C right below him with, gotta think, Snuggerud and Neighbors.
Yeah, dude. I
Core
talked to Jimmy
components.
Snuggard. I have a news tab, so you guys can go here, and all of my interviews are here. But I'm gonna put the Jimmy Snuggard thing in there because he's a really, really interesting person to talk to. Very down to earth. I feel like he is going
Yeah.
to be a very good player for a very long time. I mean, he played well at Minnesota too. Um, I mean,
Yeah, he really
he was
did.
legendary there. So,
And that was under Motzko. He was Motzko's favorite.
oh yeah,
That's a player.
he was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they loved him. They thought he was a workhorse. Another workhorse, Jake Neighbors. The Blues fans want Neighbors to be the next Blues captain.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I
thought it
think
would be Robert Thomas
that's what I
or
would pick. Either Robert Thomas or maybe Parayko.
yeah. I mean, I don't think you can do it with Pareko now though. Um, maybe I don't know Jordan Kyrou's personality, but I feel like Jordan Kyrou or Robert Thomas kind of get that slot. I mean, maybe
Yeah.
Ivar Stenberg gets drafted and you give it to him immediately, but no, I'm kidding.
Give
But
it to him at 18.
yeah, I wanted to ask like your third line winger. Who do you think that would be?
I think it's got to be Neighbors. He rotates all the way
Oh, there it
through,
is.
so we're making an incomplete picture here, but he's locked in. Wow, and we got Dylan Holloway still in the conversation because we
Wow,
have
yeah.
Carbonneau up there on the top line. I don't see a world where Carbonneau's anything less than a top liner.
I
Maybe
think he
that's
could.
why.
It would be like a top six version. If he's
Yeah,
not like settle him in, go Jordan Kyrou here if Robert Thomas gets traded, which after looking at this build, I don't think he should. I think that the Blues are kind of close. Imagine Radim Mirka though at one of these spots as a prospect. Like, I mean, I get that. Like you trade high on Colton Parayko, which he had every right to waive his no trade clause, but I do think that
yeah,
they got extreme value there. But in terms of like their team, I mean, Cam Fowler is older, but he still could provide that veteran value. Um, I mean, I think defense is kind of an issue, and
yeah,
that's not something I've been mocking them with.
yeah. It's an interesting one, especially if you look at St. Louis's last 10 draft classes. I mean, it's kind of
Hmm.
an ongoing issue. It's all left defense. They do not draft righties. They drafted one right defender. It was Adam Yurchek while he was injured. And what a pick that's looking like. I mean, that's a standout. So yeah, it's interesting. And you know, Buchnevich has been on their trade block for a couple of years. They're asking 2 first-round picks worth of value for
Wow.
him. Yeah,
Let's see
I
what
agree.
he's doing.
He
I
spent
actually am
most of this year at center, which is very interesting.
interesting. 57 points last year. This year, 44 points, but minus 12. But the entire Blues team has been pretty atrocious. Dalibor Dvorsky, I'm very surprised about. But obviously it's his first year. But I thought he'd have closer to 30 points. But
Yeah,
again, it's 11 goals is pretty good in 62 games. Played really well with Thunderbirds, so you gotta like that. Let's see. Jordan Kyrou's a beast. 40 points in
yeah,
63
always.
games. Kind of a down season from last year, but like what's Otto Stenberger doing? Oh, 9 points in 27 games. Not bad for Otto, dude. I
Uh,
like that.
the kids are breaking through. The kids are breaking through. Snuggerud's looked world class
Yeah.
recently. And I mean, you got this bunch. You still got Dylan Holloway in the depths. Dylan Holloway's another, he plays 21 minutes a night sometimes.
Yeah, 37 points,
Ridiculous.
50 games. Didn't you guys get him from the Capitals or
No,
no?
we
No,
offer sheeted him from Edmonton.
Edmonton. Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I got Broberg and Holloway in one fail swoop.
And
And
then
then we
let's check
felt so
Jimmy
bad about
Snuggerud.
it that we sent Paul
Wow.
Fisher.
Jimmy
Yeah, right?
Snuggerud is 40 points.
He's going to have a
That's
20 goal
insane.
season. He's going to be a 20 goal scorer in the NHL here soon.
Wow.
Yeah,
God, I'm
it's been
happy I said
impressive.
good things about him. He's awesome. All right, so Dylan Holloway, you putting him as like
Yeah,
that
fourth
in
line.
line four. That's tough. I mean, I would probably put him over Buchnevich at that point if I
I
didn't
know.
realize he was. I wasn't familiar with his game. If you know this shot quote.
And then the
Jonathan
Bruins.
Drouin. Anything
Yeah,
there?
I wonder. Can we check how long Druin has left on his contract? Is that
I don't have contracts yet, but that'll
gotcha?
be the next update. I got you.
Gotcha. And Druin could be a good bottom line right winger. Berggren could be. It's kind of a toss up. Uh, maybe that's another draft pick. They got 3 first rounders, so maybe that turns into a Jack Hextall or something. I know
That
for
could be.
sure that fourth line center spot is Jack Finley right there. Jack Finley's dad played for the Blues 30 years ago. His
Wow.
son's there. That's a storyline.
Let's see who else. All right. Out of these last 5 guys, who's taking that last spot, or is it going to be one of these draft picks you want to see? Like a Jack Hextall, or I mean, who else? Who do the Blues have? They have their own, and then they have the 2 others. One of them's the Avs.
Mhm. One of them's the Avs, the other one's Detroit, which could
Detroit.
land
Okay.
anywhere. I'm thinking that'll be in the teens. I don't think Detroit's a team this year. All respect to them.
Like Adam Novotny could be a fun fit there.
Adam Novotny, let's do that. I mean, you look at that right side, you got a shooter in Carbonneau, you got a shooter in Snuggerud, add another shooter in Novotny, right?
I mean, this lineup is absurd, and I think they would
And
go
that's
defense with their next pick.
Yeah, I
I
think
mean, they
so.
could go Pippa Reinen or Pantelis as well, and that slot, or like a William Hackinson, but they have that 31 overall as well, or probably like somewhere in that late
Yeah,
20s, 30s.
31 or 32 probably.
Well,
Oh,
the Senators are made sure that they weren't getting 32, but which is
yeah,
so funny to
true.
me. What's
Yeah.
up, Anthony? How you doing? Who is your guy's most underrated two-way defenseman in this class? That's it. That's a good question.
Ooh. I got a answer that speaks to me the more I watch this kid. I'm not seeing too much buzz about him, but I think he may end up in my second, third round spin. Pavel Denisov. He might not
Mm,
even be in your list. I'm seeing no one talk about him. I don't even think he got 20 points in the MHL, Russia's junior league this year, but he's playing 23, 24 minutes a night. His team's consistently winning. He's got a strong frame and he plays both blue lines aggressively. So the more and more I watch Pavel Denisov, the more and more he's become my answer for most underrated two-way defenseman. Another good option,
wow.
just to throw him out, Miles Brosnan out of New England high school hockey. Not getting a lot of exposure, but he's winning an award tonight, actually, for best prospect out of the New England Prep League.
That's awesome. This is why we
Good
bring him
kid.
on. Look at it. That's Miles right here. He's 95 on my list. Um, this is actually the Prospect Dawn rankings. So if you actually want to
Love
see,
it.
Igor is going up. He's going to my top 60. I didn't even realize he was 91 when I made this list. So
Mhm.
I think he's 4th in the OHL in points, and I feel like he's
Gosh.
not getting enough credit. Obviously, he's a forward, but still somebody that isn't getting enough credit. but I'm going to be updating my April rankings the first week of April. I'm going to be posting them out, but I wanted to give you my rankings that I had for March. So these are them. But for me, like a two-way defenseman that I think isn't getting enough credit. Like I like the NTDP program. I like when players are playing in the USHL and kind of getting that experience. And Luke Shire has had a rough year because NTDP's had a rough year. I like the upside. I like to take the chance on him. I think that he's not getting a lot. A defenseman like Tommy Bleal in the queue, I really do like his game. More of an offensive weapon, but I think that he can actually develop more of a defensive game. But he's somebody that I think should be in that second round area on most people's list. What do you think about him?
Yeah. Yeah, Blale's a fun one. He's what, second round and rising, right? Like the kid's just not
Yeah,
stopping. Um,
100%.
he's an interesting one because I watched him for many years, and last year he was with the Dubuque Fighting Saints in the USHL,
Hmm.
and he was okay. You know, he was a small puck moving defender who kind of got pushed around, um, but he followed the scout who recruited him to Dubuque up to Moncton in the QMJHL. Um, and so he followed his guy up to Canada, and now it's paying dividends. He's, seems to have his head on straight. He's becoming that much more explosive. He's becoming creative on the blue line. Tommy Blale is an interesting one because he's still skinny. Some of his traits, he looks like a really good 17-year-old before he looks like a really good pro sometimes. But that's the kind of talent you bet on. That's the kind of talent you chase in the draft, especially once you get past pick 50. It's all upside from there. Find the guys that are going to be
100%.
gems. That Lane Hudson went after 50.
Like I think like I'm a lot higher on Burrs Collins than a lot of people. I've seen him in the 70s or 80s of the rankings, and I do think that that could be a forward. Or Adam Nemec, I think, has had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
he's fallen a lot, to say the least. But and same with Oliver Merzlikins. Like these guys, these three actually have fallen a lot, but I still have high hopes for them as well. Um, Kind of interesting there. I would say Thomas Galvis is one of my favorite defensemen, but he's an overager. Obviously, he's smaller, but what he did at the World Juniors and what he's done internationally, it's not something you should bat an eye on. He probably gets drafted in the fifth round, based on his size profile. But I don't, and also teams don't want a guy that's like an overager. But I think the talent is there for me,
Yeah.
and also like Dravecky played in the SHL for 3 games, which I like. Obviously, you didn't record a point or anything, but I think it's important to talk about. But he's had like 28 points in like 50, 60 games in the OHL for Brantford. It's a really good team, and he just has that personality. I think he could be a fan favorite to wherever he drafts. I um
Yeah.
I interviewed him, and he said his nickname was Vladdy Daddy. So you know that in order to say that, you got to have a lot of confidence.
Yeah, no kidding.
So,
You did well.
are there any young two-way forwards out of Minnesota high school ranks that you see being drafted in the second or third round?
I just saw that question come through. And Anthony, I feel like you have a vision in your mind when you ask that question. I feel like you're thinking of a player for us. I do have an answer. I do have a very genuine answer. Zach Zimmerman is nasty. Uh, Zach Zimmerman's a really interesting player. He's got, I don't want to say, you don't want to call any of these kids fat. They're kids. But, he's got a stocky build, a bulky build. He's got a build that looks like he can turn into some muscle. He's used that muscle to bully Minnesota high school. And he was solid, not great, but solid in his start of the season stint with the Fargo Force in the USHL. Yeah, he's a good puck mover. He was mini high school hockey tournament champion, or I think he won. I think he won. Either way, he was a legend in last year's run. Um, yeah, so Zach Zimmerman is the young two-way forward out of that league who, maybe in the third. I don't think this is a good draft class. I don't think he'd go in the second, but I'd start considering him third, fourth round, hoping that he can get a full year in the U next year and maybe go to college after that.
How would you kind of rank this draft class? I know you said it was a deep draft class.
That's been the question I've gotten a few times today, and I think this is the second best draft class, maybe of the 2020s, behind
Wow.
next year. Behind next year.
It's
I
better
think
than
that
2023, you think?
I think it's up there with 2023, 2025, and next year. I think those are the contenders.
Wow.
And I guess 2024, that was Celebrini.
Yeah.
So that does a lot of heavy lifting. No, I've been looking towards this draft class for a long time. I really like this bunch. Guys like Morozov, Piperinen, even Daxon Rudolph. Who knows
Yeah.
where he'll land on draft day? If he's a 18th, 19th overall pick, that's a
No,
good
he
pick.
should be top 10 for sure.
I
I
think
mean,
there's no way he falls by 12, but I don't know.
I'm a big Daxter Rudolph guy. That hurts me to even
Yeah.
think that he could go to the 18 range.
I think I had him in my 20s. So
You had him in your
yep.
20s. What is he
Yeah,
now? Or is it still in your 20s?
I think he was still in my 20s on my last one. I'll get an update here. I think it's a
Why? Yeah.
lot of perimeter playmaking for
Mm.
me. I want to see him crash the middle, and I want to see him win the middle a bit more on defense. But I was
Interesting.
low on Ryan Lynn too. I
Gotcha.
had
I mean,
Ryan Lynn as a fringe first rounder.
I've seen
I
that a
got a
lot.
lot of mean messages from people in the Western Hockey League for that one.
Really? I've seen him go down a lot, though. I mean, I
Yeah,
know Elite Prospects had him like fourth at one point, and it's just it's a smaller defenseman. I know he is stockier too, probably more muscle, but he has like that thicker build, and I feel like that will help him with the size issue. But at the same time, like there was a couple times like I don't know if it was GP Hurlburt or Mathis Preston, but yeah, I think it was Mathis Preston when he stick lifted Ryan Lynn with like a couple minutes left in the third period in a tie game, and Mathis Preston
yeah,
scored on that, and it was just like, what is Ryan Lynn doing there? It didn't really make sense. So I
yeah.
can see why. I think the defensive IQ is a little interesting. Question for your co-host. I'm not sure if he agrees with this. If everything pans out correctly with Yoho, his ceiling is Mar Mario, the defenseman from I think this is Miro Heiskanen.
Miro.
Miro, the defenseman
Yeah,
from Dallas.
I see
You
it.
think
I
so?
see it. If this is a question for me, I see the comparison, but I would not compare Piperinen to Heiskanen. I would compare him to Esa Lindell.
Okay.
Esa Lindell plays that really active game south of the red line. He's always got to stick out. That body's ready to absorb contact, defends the rush beautifully. I've been saying that Piperinen is a guy that you can funnel transition into. And that's what your goal, as a coach, that's what you want to do when your defenders are defending the rush is you want to siphon them into your strong defender if you can because that's routine contact. That's a routine battle. That's a board battle, if not a turnover, and you're going the other way.
Hmm.
Esa Lindell does that well. I've been saying Pipperinen's a lot like Lindell since the start of the year. With that said, I mean it's a Dallas kind of player, right? Not only Heiskanen, not only Lindell, but Leon Bixel there in Dallas too. Very similar.
Hmm.
Always ready to absorb that contact and eat it. Dallas kind of player. I think we've agreed there.
Yeah, he's an interesting one. I don't know why he was scratched during the bronze medal game uh, in the World
Yeah.
Juniors. I thought that was interesting. He actually looked really good at the World Juniors. You could tell like has a lot more potential to show. I know that he hasn't put up phenomenal points, and I think that if you're a stat watcher, you're like, this guy sucks. I mean, it's way beyond the stats. And
Yeah.
he's a big right-handed defenseman that he's playing a lot of minutes. I feel like at the World Juniors, but I feel like I can't put him past my top 15 at this point, but like slotting him at like 19 before the 20s is a good spot for him. But I feel like it's because like I'm not sure what his floor is, but I see the upside. I could be wrong though.
Mhm. Yeah. I'm there with you. I mean, I think it's the argument. U18s are going to be fun to watch these Swedes,
Yeah.
to watch Piperinen, to watch
Oh my
Suvanto, because
God.
they have a
Yeah.
lot to prove.
Yeah. Like
This is so fun because it's
Finland's deep.
what?
Finland,
Yeah.
like
And then Sweden's loaded.
yeah.
Sweden's going to be ridiculous. They got Alex Command, they got Stenberg, they got Bjork, they got Sundstrom from next year if they really want to take
Mm.
him. It's ridiculous.
I asked
It's
Rocco, and
ridiculous.
I think you were in the group chat, but I was like, "What do you think of Alexander Command?" Because I I just see like
Yeah.
third line, but I don't know. I just can't get a good read on him in terms of the upside there.
Yeah. Yeah. Weird one. He's exploded.
You're breaking up a bit. I'm not sure what's wrong.
I'm
Can you hear me?
fading in and out. Oh no.
I can
Yeah,
hear you
yeah,
now.
I can. Let's see if I can close some things. Break out an iPad. Okay, good. Um, Alexander Command, I've been saying explosive for him. I've
Okay.
been saying explosive.
Let
He
me go to Alexander Command. And you guys can check all this stuff out at the Prospect Hub, where you see the prospects, some of the draft rankings too. Let me see where I have Alexander Command. I think he was like 34 or something. 30. Okay, it was not. Damn. Oh, I have him 43. That's what it was. 34. No. So 44 points in 30 games. And obviously, you could see what he's doing. He did not go to Boston College. That's an error. I don't know why it says that. But he's 6'4". Like you said, oh wait, no, this is Oscar Hemming. What am I talking about? He's 6'1", June '08 birthday, 44 points in 30 games, 185 pounds. When I watch him, it's just like it's interesting. I think that he could stick at center, but I want to see like I don't know why I'm so confused at how to scout this guy. Like I don't know. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of Alexander Command. Have you guys watched him? What you think, as well as let's see. The guy I'm thinking of when I ask the question is Brooks Woodgowski. Is it Rogowski? Brooks Rogowski? Are you talking about?
All right, I'm coming back to life. Slow.
Oh, he came back to life, but then he fell. Are you talking about Brooks Rogowski? I have him pulled up here. Brooks Rogowski is a big 6'6". I would say center forward. I'm not really sure where he fit in, but 231 pounds, 42 points in 46 games, almost a point per game for the Oshawa Generals, which is a really good team. And the OHL is really good. So I got to watch his team alive, but he actually wasn't playing. He was injured. I think that he has a lot of upside. Definitely one of those players that you pick at the end of the second round. I mean, end of the first round. Try to bet on that upside, kind of give you that Dean Letourneau upside. Let me try to get Gabe back in. But let me know what you guys want to see. I could show you the rest of this. This is the GM builder. We were building the Blues. If you want to like put any player in with a specific prospect, I just created this and made it live yesterday or this morning actually. So if you want to have like Nick Lardis on the right wing, Well, we'll put him on the left. Put Nick Lardis on the left wing. Put Oliver Moore on the third line, and get Boisvert in there at the third line center. Try to get him some speed. Let's see if Gabe's back. He's not. Then we can do Anton Frundell on Bedard's left wing. So just think about an Anton Frundell, Connor Bedard, Gavin McKenna line, or Anton Frundell, Bedard, Stenberg line. I think that would be a really good one too, if they get top 2 pick, obviously. And then I don't know where else. Comment down below, like Kevin Korchinski, bottom pair probably right now. I think Wyatt Kaiser probably has that second left-handed defenseman spot. Alex Vlasic is the top. You have Spencer Knight here. And then these are the prospects. If you want to see any of the prospects, we go to the goalies all the way at the bottom. Drew Comesso, it surprised me. I really do like his game, what he's playing in the Rockford Ice Hogs. I have you back in. I was just doing a prospect thing with the Blackhawks.
Yeah. Computer crash or StreamYard crash and then computer crash. But
dang,
on the
man.
phone, I heard the Drew Comesso love. That's all I need to hear.
Heck yeah.
Here.
But like for me, like obviously this is just a Blackhawks forward prospect group. So all players like basically under 21 at this point, 22, but they're just so deep in their prospect pool. And obviously all of these guys, like you don't know if they're going to hit. Like I think Vaslav Nestor could fit in on that third line, and not because of his talent or his upside, just because like where are you going to put Roman Kanserov? And this would be a very small line, so you'd probably maybe you even go Vaslav here, Roman here.
That's the big challenge the Blackhawks face this year is who do you draft? Because you can't add too many more forwards to this group. You're explaining why perfectly.
It's so tough. And look at the prospects that we didn't even get to. Jack Pridham, who, if his dad takes over as GM for the Leafs, that could be an option of him getting him. John Mustard, Martin Misiak. I would say Nathan Bain isn't even on there, and he's had a fantastic year with the Blazers. I mean, Sam Renzel, I feel like I'm not sure who would be the top pair, but I would say Artem Levshunov is the second pair. Sam Renzel is the first, not talent or skill or potential based, just kind of the way it is. And then I think the Blackhawks could go like a right-handed defenseman. Obviously, Luis Crevier here would be a good option. Ethan Del Mastro is a good option, but at the same time, look at how deep this team is. I'll put in Luis Crevier. I do like his game, but now I'll put in Ethan Del Mastro. I know he probably is more of a right or left-handed defenseman, but at the same time, we're lefty. But look at how one player like an Ivar Stenberg just fills out the rest of this team, and obviously, it's never going to look like this. You're never going to have a full lineup of prospects. That's just not how it works. But Roman Kanserov has star potential. I mean, he really does. What he's doing in the KHL is just absolutely insane for a 21-year-old. He led them in goals. Vaslav Nestor still looks like he's going to be a really good player. Like, where do these guys fit? It's just like maybe you do take a left-handed defenseman here if Korchinski is somebody that you don't necessarily know the upside or the floor there. But what do you think about the Blackhawks?
Yeah, I think the Blackhawks got a lot of good things coming because, like you're saying, they have more prospects than they have spots, and what that means is eventually you're going to have to sell, even if you're selling on one or two guys or one or two picks. Eventually, you're going to have to sell, and what happens when Chicago sells? All of a sudden, they have maybe half a dozen first and second round values on the open market. That's enough to land a second winger, a first hand winger. Maybe you swing Jordan Kyrou from St. Louis about him.
Oh yeah,
I'd be irate. I'd be so mad. That's the upside we're talking with Chicago. So I think that the gloomy days of Blackhawks hockey are behind them.
In 8 games.
Yeah.
So I will rebuild the Panthers, maybe with the help of Gabe here, and then we should do kind of a mock draft, the top 32.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty fun. But we do have a question. Do you think Mason West can end up in the top 6? I definitely think he has top 6 upside. My problem is it's just like, where the heck do all these guys play? Like,
Yeah.
Anton Friedel looks like a guy. Connor Bedard's locked in. Frank Nazar's locked in. You're going to get a top 5 pick, and everybody's been screaming forward, forward, forward. But if it's not one of the top 2, I don't even know if you bring in Caleb Malhotra anymore. Because
Yeah.
at this point, you probably take Albert Smits, you put him at your left-handed defenseman here, you bring Alex Vlasic down, and the prospect, like on paper, but it's just like maybe you don't believe in Kevin Korchinski as much anymore. If that's or like I don't know. I think that there needs to be a conversation, and we got to stop sugarcoating that fact.
Yeah.
But like Mason West should be a player that he has top 6 potential. His player comp for himself was a Tage Thompson. If he ever becomes that, obviously one of these guys are getting the heck out of that spot. But it's
Yeah.
just like who? Maybe Vaslav Nesher still isn't in that spot, but I'm a huge believer in him. I think he's been great at UMass this year. Roman Kantarov is going to have every shot at being a top 6 player. But
Mhm.
if you have Roman Kantarov, Frank Nazar, Nick Lardis, and Connor Bedard, that's all players under 6 feet. Or I
Mhm.
think Frank Nazar is, but he's small. In terms of, oh yeah, Frank Nazar is not 6 feet. I mean Nick Lardis. Nick Lardis is small. He's tiny, but he is probably 6 feet. But at the same time, it's like, how are you going to have all those guys? Frank
Yeah.
Nazar is 5'9". Connor Bedard's 5'10". Um, it's just like Oliver Moore is a smaller guy. Like he gets pushed off pucks a lot. He needs to get in the weight room a little bit. But will that affect his speed, which is kind of his secret weapon? So
Mhm.
there's a lot of question marks in terms of where do these guys fit. But they have a superstar amount of prospects. Like this
Yeah.
is exactly what you want to see. You want this problem. Kyle Davidson did a great job at drafting. I mean, Drew Comesso has been awesome. He's blocking Adam Guyan. He's
Yeah.
blocking like I feel like that this is a great prospect pool. Let's
You know,
let's actually go ahead.
quick, but you mentioned Adam Guyan. That's going to be a player to watch here
Yeah,
over the next month or so. There's some rumors that he could sign, which
really.
I think is premature. I mean, he's got a golden carpet into a starting role on a strong Minnesota Duluth team next year. I don't think he should sign, but I mean, I've gotten messages about it. So that's a 50-50 that I'm going to be watching soon. And, if Gayan signs, does that mean Comesso's glued into the backup role?
Mm.
Maybe. Maybe. And then you got a really young goalie room. So Chicago has a lot of questions
And
that
Spencer
they're
Knight's
gonna.
going to be the franchise goalie, but it's the 1A 1B situation with
Yep.
Comesso, like you were saying. So it's just like it's a good position to be in for the Blackhawks.
Yeah.
I do want to put Wyatt Kaiser back. I mean, even Wyatt Kaiser has deserved to be on the Blackhawks for a long time. But like Kevin Korchinski here, so if you go Alex Vlasic, Albert Smits with Artem Levshunov, which I think would be a very fun pair to watch. Um, they might not keep their roles there, but I think that this would kind of be exciting. If you
Mhm.
didn't get a Ivar Stenberg and you pushed all these guys up, like say, okay, say Merrick Vanacker goes up, and I mean even Ryan Green has looked great there. So it's just really interesting. And
Yeah.
and I know we had a question about doing the Panthers rebuild before we do this mock draft, and let's try it out. So Alexander Barkov, one of their most important players. Um, Anton Lundell, I've heard plays on the third line, but it's like that guy's like a second liner. But
Yeah, I'd say second line center.
yeah,
It's
Brad
because they got
Marchand,
Sam Bennett.
yes,
Gosh.
Sam Reinhart, Sam Bennett, Matthew Tkachuk, like definitely. This team should not be anywhere near the bottom. This is crazy. Um, all right, help me finish the defense. What do you think here?
Let's see who we got. Nico Mikola's glued in. trying to think if they have anyone great in the depth chart, but I don't think they have too many notable names. Tobias Bjornfoot has not hit like they kind of gambled on. And that's the thing is Florida's going to have to be making some bold picks.
Yeah. Let's see.
Is Donovan Sabrango a reliable guy? Anthony in the chat. Who do you think? Is Sabrango the guy? Is it going to be a draft pick? Should their top 10 pick turn into a guy like Smits who can step into the NHL probably right away? Don, you know more about Smits than I do. I think that's an NHL talent next year or 2 years.
Oh, yeah. Smits can play. I think Smits could play in the NHL probably a couple games next year because he's played against men. He played in the Olympics. He looked like Lafayette, one of his most important players and a really great player for them. He played well at the World Juniors. This is a guy that could totally make his NHL debut next year. I don't know if the Panthers would necessarily do that because I think they're going to be in a playoff run. But if he would be a third line defenseman now for them during a playoff run, get a good playoff type of. This is actually a perfect fit. He's NHL ready in terms of like it. I feel like he has that professional experience, so he can play.
Yeah.
And then you need defense. So I'm not sure where Kulikov would play, but put him with an older vet, help him out a little bit, and then just like have all these guys. Like Brad Marchand's going to be there. Not sure how elite he'll continue to be, but I mean he's 38. But at the same time, it's just like, go ahead.
One of Florida's best pieces without Barkov and without Kachuk. I think there's a bit where Marchand was leading the team in scoring in the year 2026.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Like Anton Lundell might be their third line center. I mean, look at how much depth they have. Barkov, Sam Bennett, Anton Lundell. I mean, this is just insane.
Yeah.
And then you have like Sam Reinhart. It's just like, I don't know. How are you bad?
That's what happens when your entire first line gets hurt before the first puck drop of the season.
Yeah. Carter Verhaeghe, like, it's absolutely insane. So let's say they took Albert Schmitz here, and then everything else is just filler and stuff. But it's kind of just interesting on Vinny Hinestrona, Blackhawks legend, AJ Green, like
Mackie Samoskevich. We love Mac. Another Chicago legend there.
Yep. Like,
yeah,
I'm not even sure who else would fit. Like, let's just.
E2 Luosterainen's got to be there. Couple down, it rotates through the lineup. That's the thing is Florida rotates all of these guys. Like sometimes Reinhardt's a center, sometimes he's right wingers, sometimes Rodriguez, same thing. AJ Greer, Luosterainen, Hinestroza, Boquist are all rotating, checking forwards in the bottom six.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I mean,
and also
it's
go ahead.
how you want to build a team, right? It's how you should be building your roster.
Yeah, and they need a goalie. I mean, Bobrovsky's probably gone. I think a good fit with one of these second round picks would be Phantom Tobias Treble. I think that would be a really good option for them.
Yeah, and our big guy in that goalie room, big body.
That could be definitely the play there. So I feel like the Florida Panthers need that defensive play as well as that goalie. They need a solid first pair in this draft, like Chase Reed. That would be fantastic.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. That'd be unfair on a team that's already got Seth Jones and Aaron Ekblad.
What's up? dude, how you doing? Love your picture. Always love having you out here. Tuxedo is here. Trevor is here. Marchand was leading up till December. What's up, Trevor?
Gosh, that Tays picture. Did you see Jonathan Tays through the first pitch at the
Yeah,
Cubs game there today?
yeah.
God, I love that.
I was actually at the Jets practice because the Blackhawks practice canceled, and they gave me media credentials for the first time, and I didn't know it canceled, so I was just watching Tays there. He ended up not being able to
Nice.
interview there, but they interviewed him yesterday, but or today. I wasn't. I just wasn't there.
Yeah,
Um,
so it goes.
that lineup is absolutely garbage. This is some Luke Richardson stuff. Not a big fan. I mean, dude, I have no idea how to rebuild this team. Like, they're so good. They're gonna sign some free agents. Like, at the end of the day, Matthew Tkachuk, Barkov, and Carter Verhaeghe, like it's this is
Yeah.
just a gamification of these lineups and to see what they kind of need based on their depth. But I feel like they definitely need a goalie. They definitely need a defenseman. I don't necessarily know if they need like a center right now, but a lot of their centers are over 30. So if you wanted
Hmm.
to take a Caleb Malhotra, if you are fourth, fifth, or sixth, like that could be an option. But I think defense is what they're going to do. It takes like Albert Schmitz isn't going to take 5 years to develop. Like he's actually ready now. So
Yeah.
or in a year. So I feel like that would just be a good option. I feel like we figured that out because of that. But these weren't like what we would do. It's just like just a fun one. Rebuild the Flames. Oh, the lineup tonight. Oh, the lineup tonight. We're good. We're good. Foley's
Calgary St.
cards
Louis.
are amazing. Oh yeah, great
Hey, I
cards. Great
appreciate
cards.
that.
I'm a
More
White Sox
coming.
fan. I was unhappy. Rebuild the Flames for fun. And also, you guys can do this at draftprospectshockey.com. Like totally free service to use. And if you guys want to do trades too, there's a trade feature so you can trade anyone you want. Like the Blackhawks have multiple first round picks. If you want to trade Connor Bedard for, or let's do like a mock trade, like trade, or I could do a mock trade with the Blues. Let's see what you want with for
For Bedard, going to the
Robert
Blues.
Thomas. Robert Thomas, not Bedard.
Take Bedard.
um, yeah. So St. Louis Blues. Oh, I have to be on the Blackhawks one. So, yeah. So actually, let's try this. How does Robert Thomas get on the Blackhawks? Let's see. It's
Well,
probably cheap. So
probably
first,
cheap.
first we'll do the picks. I mean, I think it would have to be 1 and 2 next year. The Blackhawks have the
Yeah.
Oilers first round pick next year. I have to put that in. But let's say the Toronto second round pick, which is going to be like 38th. So we have the first round picks, second round pick, and maybe they want players. So which kind of players would you be looking for in a Robert Thomas deal?
You know, it's interesting. Blues are so shallow at center. We need centers bad.
We'll
They
give you
got plenty of
Mikhaev.
wingers.
That's perfect.
There we go. That's who I wanted.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I wonder if it's like, is it, Ryan Green and Mason West
Ryan
kind
Green
of
and
deal?
Mason West. All
You
right,
know, it,
so dude, this website's a content machine because I feel like I can just ask the chat all the time, like, "Hey, would you like this trade?" I could just like do this the entire off season. Like, this
yeah.
is insane. I did not think it was gonna work this well in terms of the GM mode. I was just like throwing it around, and then I sent it to my buddy. He's like, "This is awesome." I was like, "Dude, I don't even know how I did it. I can't even do it again." So Ryan Green, Mason West, 2027 first, 2028 first, and a second round pick. Let me know if you guys would do that. I It's interesting to say the least. Let's
It
actually
is
screenshot
interesting.
that.
Yeah. That's a fun one because 4 first round picks value. Does that second round plus Green kind of give you a first rounder makeup? And then Mason
It's
West is a total wild card. I, he's
yeah.
gonna he's gonna develop as a center though. That's what they want out of him. We'll see how that goes next year, next to Jack Hextall and Eric Nilsson and Caden Lindstrom, all the great talent at Michigan State. It's going to be
Yep.
interesting.
They like their big guys. Shane Van
They,
Soggy. I mean,
yeah,
they like their big boys for sure.
I think this is
Porter Bartone,
realistic.
obviously he left, but he was there. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
what
just
do you
gonna
say? He gained like 30 pounds at Michigan State?
the freshman 15. It always hits.
Yeah.
It always hits. And in the comments, would you do this? Would you guys actually do this? Um, for fun, that's impossible without people to score 100 points in the season. An interesting rebuild would be Dallas, especially with their cap crunch when trying to re-sign Robo. Honestly, a good option for a couple of these teams that are close could trade for Robert Thomas. I don't think Robo is in the future. He's so freaking slow. I want to see you do it. I'm not sure what that's referring to. He's such a good player, but he's just fat as Patrick Kane. Oh, fast. Sorry. um, they're in one. They're gonna be in cap hell. Word is he wants 12 plus. They have 14.5 for 17 players. That's crazy. He needs to go. Another March, another Wings collapse. That's tough to hear from a Kane fan. Jamie Benn scored. If he wakes up, the Stars are going to start smoking teams. That's actually a good point. Kane isn't the issue. You could take the vet minimum, keep him. You need a 2C. Let's see. Any questions for us? They need a second line center badly. I got roasted by Wings fans when I mentioned trading for Kadri. I think the Wings. I don't think that they're a Kadri away at all. I think you gotta probably tear it down a little bit. Maybe they're in no man's land. It's really hard to be in no man's land. What do you
Yeah.
think about the Wings?
Yeah, I think they're in no man's land. I think a GM change feels like the inevitable spark. Uh, but hey, they got a prospect pool. They got guys like Nate Danielson and Eddie Genborg. Eddie Genborg's doing real well in the AHL since he came over from Sweden. So, they got additions to their top nine that are incoming. Maybe that gets them over the hump. I don't know. I think they're defensemen a few forwards away. And then you got to pull the hairs of, is it Sebastian Cossa in net? Is it Trey Augustine in net? Is it Cam Talbot? Who's playing goalie for the Detroit Red Wings in 2 years?
For the Red Wings?
Yeah,
Well, Sebastian Cossa or um who's Trey Augustine?
yeah. Oh, it's going to
Yeah.
be one of those, but can you relegate the other one to the
You
bench?
could trade the other one. You could trade them for sure.
I think that'd have to be it. How many goalies does Detroit have under contract now? Because they signed trade today. They have Kosa. Gosh,
Cossa is so good.
he is so
Um,
good.
Costa is going to be the starter. I envision they do what Calgary did with Markstrom and Wolf. Okay, so interesting. I do believe that they would pick Costa. The Detroit people I was talking to at the AHL All Star game were very high on him. Like they think
I
he's like
was,
the superstar.
yeah, I was gonna say if you ask around the AHL, oh man, I'm talking to teams on the West Coast in the AHL who are saying that Kosa's the guy. It runs
That's
deep.
actually interesting.
Yeah, right.
It says yeah, this is my other account. Um, I posted the picture of what we were doing to execute the trade. I thought it was a good screenshot. Like, would you do this? But let me know if you guys would do this. Mason West, Ryan Green, a 2027 first, 2028 first, 2026 second for Robert Thomas from St. Louis. And, it would be really interesting to see this. I don't know if I could totally actually see the Blackhawks doing this. I'm not even going to lie. But maybe that
Yeah,
2027 first would be the Oilers or one of the Panthers because I don't think they take the Panthers. So they'll have 3 first round picks next year. Maybe the Blues don't even want to do this. Who
yeah.
knows?
It could be how the 2026 class goes too.
Yeah.
Teams are loving their picks in 2027. Everyone wants to keep their picks in 2027. So, God, it could go in so many ways.
Do you think that GMs think that 2027 is deeper than 2026?
I do. I do, not necessarily because of, hype or buzz, but when you're in the rink watching the '09s, there are a lot of people at every rink. I mean, every time I've been watching, late 2008s, 2009 youth hockey, there's been some pros in the rink. And, granted, a lot of that's in Chicago. There are always excited people in Chicago. But,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of buzz because I think a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, this is the class we've been watching. This is the one we're waiting for. A lot of buzz around guys like, like Nolan Fitzhenry or Ryerson Edgar, who are maybe fringe first rounders, medium first rounders, but then people are saying they're top 10 picks, top
Mm.
5 picks. So much movement. It's going to be a fun year.
Well, 287 people are watching or tuned in, so thank you guys so much for watching. At 7:30, the Blackhawks game is going to play, and I just want to do a mock draft. I feel like, are you still able to have time to do a mock draft?
Yeah, let's run it.
And we have a question from Sarcasm. Based on what you've heard, what's the likelihood of Stenberg McKenna drop below the 2 to theoretically one right-handed D behind them makes it more interesting than it should be, in my opinion. Theoretical. So what's the likelihood of Stenberg or McKenna dropping below 2?
I'd say both of them dropping below 2, 0. 0 would be my answer. Don, I wonder if you got a little bit more optimism for that. I mean, Verhoff and Chase Reed are the defensemen you want to be taken high in the draft. Those are the 20-plus minute a night kind of guys. So what do you think?
For me, I'm going to go to the prospect section. There's no one, and no disrespect to anybody else, but if you take somebody, if you are 2 and you take somebody that's not McKenna or Stenberg, and I don't care if it's for value, then you are losing out on value. Like, you are losing out on the reason you got that draft pick. The hockey gods should suspend you from the lottery, because if you wanted a right-handed defenseman, like, I don't believe that there is that big of a gap between all of them. You trade down. You gain those assets. If you were a team like the Flames and don't want to be stuck in no man's land and want to make a Chicago Bears type of Panthers deal, and the only team I could see doing it is the Sharks. But at that point, you can get value. Say, there's a perfect example. I'm going to go back to the GM trade, because let's say you're the Sharks and you go to the trade, right? And, oh, wait. I was doing one after. You go to the Blues. So the Sharks and the Blues, right? The Sharks have their first round pick, and it's second overall. And Gavin McKenna is gone, so Stenberg is there. And the Blues want Stenberg. So the Blues are fourth or whatever, fifth. The Blues give you a first, so their own fifth. So it's the second pick for the fifth pick. And then they give you a player in. They just give you maybe a couple second round picks.
Yeah, that's fair.
A second round pick in 2028. Maybe a third round pick or something of that sorts. And then you drop down and you get it's kind of harder than I thought it was going to be.
Maybe you get Jordan Binnington. In this deal. San Jose needs to shore up their goalie room. Blues are, I don't want to say desperate to get rid of a few guys, but I think there's a hope that they part with a few names.
That'd be great.
Binnington makes $6 million a year. That gets San Jose to the cap floor.
So you get a first, a second, and a third for and Jordan Binnington from going from second to fifth, and the Sharks get the right-handed defenseman they want anyway. I mean, maybe let's say 4. So this is from 2 to 4, and then the Blackhawks are at 3. So the Blackhawks don't get Stenberg, and the Blues don't want to trade with the Blackhawks from in division or whatever it is. So they give him to the Sharks, and then the Sharks give a little more. The Sharks don't want to trade to the Blackhawks for whatever reason. So the Blues jump up, and then the Sharks are at 4, and they take whoever doesn't get there with Verhoff or Reed. And I feel like that would be a perfect example. So I feel like that would be interesting. I'm not a. You have to take Gavin McKenna or Stenberg top 2. I know I went all over the place, but yes. So these are the goalies in the system. Give me Werenski and free agency. The Blackhawks will probably have 4 firsts when teams are wanting centers. They'll definitely have 3. Nestor will probably get asks. I don't want to trade Nestor. Question
I
for
don't
you
think the
both.
Blackhawks do.
Yeah, for sure. If you had to choose between Adam Novotny and Nikita Klepov, who do you think is more likely to end up being picked in the top 10 because of the fit and playing style? So I have my thing, but I want you to go first. You two go first.
Yeah, I think it's an easy answer too. It's Adam Novotny because of the size. Klepov is not a small player. In fact, I think he could really build out the pounds when he turns pro, but he doesn't play with it. You know, he's a north of the red line player. Novotny's a 200-foot driver. So I think that's a real top 10 potential. I don't think he'll go there, but you know, that's where his range starts is 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. I think because of what NHL teams like, Adam Novotny would go, but who I like more is Nikita Klepov. Nikita Klepov
Yeah.
actually played defense growing up too. So I'm not sure why there's a little disconnect there
Yeah.
in his defensive game, but I just love his production. 97 points this year in the OHL. He led the OHL in points. The dude looks like a mini Bedard left-handed. Obviously, he's not going to be, but the way that he uses his skill, he's absolutely an incredibly high hockey IQ player with a lot of playmaking ability and his scoring, but you need open ice. A lot of his points, they were some of them were on the power play, and he just had wide open space. He's not going to really get that in the
Yeah.
NHL. It's a lot tighter. So I'm not really sure what his floor is for the NHL. I think Novotny has a higher floor, but I think Klepov has the higher upside for sure. And if
You know,
we draft, go ahead.
oh, I was going to say Klepov's a fun conversation to bring up with this group because I think Klepov is the first year OHL player to
Hmm.
lead the OHL in scoring since Patty Kane. And
Wow,
Patty Kane had 2 years at the National Team Development Program. Nikita Klepov was playing AAA hockey. So,
that's a really
you're
cool fact.
speaking. Yeah, right?
Nikita Klepov's top 15 for me now. I actually have
I
a
like it.
community post. I do these community posts, and I'm like, who do you think goes higher? I actually put JP Hurlbert because I have JP Hurlbert higher, but it's like community has JP Hurlbert trending too. So put JP Hurlbert, Adam Novotny, and Nikita Klepov in there. And how does that change it? Because I think JP Hurlbert hits more, uses his physicality more, even though he is a smaller player. The guy averaged over a hit a game, which I was surprised about. I did not realize. I looked back and watched every single hit he had this year, and he leads in with his hands and he pushes off. So the players normally he like tries to take away their leverage and then they fall to the ice, and that's not going to happen in the NHL. And it also that could be more dangerous because that's what Kirby Doc did when he broke his wrist and it kind of hurt his development.
That's a
But at
good
the
point.
same time, I think that he does use his body more. He doesn't throw his body around in a reckless abandon. But I it's going to be close. I think Adam Novotny just has that floor there. For
Yeah,
both of us, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say quick. Mike Moriel mentioned yesterday he was talking to an OHL coach recently. That OHL coach said that all good NHLers have a screw loose somewhere.
Hmm,
And JP Hurlbert has a screw loose. That kid's a little crazy, a little sicko mode sometimes. So you talk about his hitting, and it's like,
really?
yeah, it's not fundamental, but I think he'll be one of those kind of like Trevor Zegras, where Trevor Zegras, when he broke into the league, was getting all these penalties for just weird infractions. I could be
Gotcha.
Hurlbert.
Herbert, I don't. I have an interview with him soon with Colton Davies, who works for the Blazers, and the thing is like I don't know if JP Herbert understands that people have like a ceiling. I think he
Yeah.
thinks that he can be the greatest of all. Like it's not like that, but what I've heard is his he's not an egotistical person at all. I don't there's no stopping him once he starts. Like
Yeah.
that's great. That's exactly what you want in a prospect. That drive, that thing. I think you want to see that more out of Ryan Rubrick a little bit, honestly.
Yeah.
But not to throw shade on Ryan Rubrick, I'm sorry. But I do want to go to a tuxedo before we start this mock draft, and then everyone just keeps. We have over like 100 messages right now. Like, just gotta. But who is a player comp for Caleb Malhotra? And I wanted to go to you, and then before I answer, I'm gonna throw a media clip on of exactly him in my interview saying who his comp for himself is. So I want to see if you could
Yeah.
get it.
I've seen the clip. I
Oh,
know who he picks. I'm an avid Prospect Don viewer. I hope we all are. It's great content.
thank you.
I
Uh,
I've told you so much that no one's doing interviews like this. It's such a unique platform. You can find all those interviews
oh
uh,
yeah,
on this site on the page you've been shown a few times. But my comp for Caleb Malhotra, he's an always active, always aware, high energy guy. Doesn't have the straight line speed of this player, but I think he plays like Dylan Larkin. So that's who I
Dylan
got for
Larkin,
him.
nice. I like that. That's a good one. I think you know I wanted to ask you about his 1C potential because I've had this
Yeah.
conversation, but I also want to take a moment first. Like there was two people I asked how to get in this space in the summer of like 2025 because I had no idea how, or maybe it was 24, summer of
Yeah.
yeah 24, and I was like, I don't know how to get in this space. Like, can you please help me? And you were the one that told me like how to get in the space and like the people to talk to. So
Hmm.
you are the reason that I'm actually doing all this content. So I think that's pretty cool.
I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure for me because I'm getting to see it come
Yeah.
together, enjoy it. So, gosh,
Well,
I'm grateful.
it means a lot. Like I did not know how to even start. I was just like, my friends were telling me, please stop talking about prospects. Like we don't care. Like talk about it on a camera. So it's been a cool ride, and I appreciate you for helping me out because I really did not know where to go. In terms of
Absolutely.
like, it's so hard to get your foot in the door. But after I did, I was like, I'm not. I told everybody when I was like texting them, I'm like, I will not stop. And then, it's like, oh, but I did not. So I really appreciate you for helping me get in and the foot in the door, and I owe a lot to you. So everybody go follow NHL Foley. He does incredible work. His cards are the best. But I want to get you guys to this media thing. One sec. I have it pulled up here.
Well, I loved
Yes.
watching Jonathan Taves and kind of Patrice Bergeron as well. I wasn't a Boston fan growing up, but was just respecting his game and seeing what he's done. But yeah, Jonathan Taves, kind of how
I'll
he
be up
was
in
so
just a
so elite
sec
on
here,
both
it
sides of the
looks
puck
like.
in the circle, kind of all over the ice. You could trust him in any situation. You want him to be out there when you need a goal, and when you need to shut somebody down, you can also put him out.
All right. I had to pee. So it's always good ad
That's
break.
that's so smart. You did that so well.
Thank you. I
Seamless.
I yeah, I appreciate that timing.
That was
But
so fast too.
heck yeah, dude, the hand sanitizer helps. But my player comparison for Caleb is Kuznetsov. That's not a bad one at all. Kuznetsov, the guy with the slowest shootout speed of ever. That was a fun clip, dude. That was awesome. All right, the last one before we do this mock draft, because I'm going to have this guy on until like September. But what are your guys' thoughts on my comparison for both Adam and Caleb? Oh shoot, I missed your message. Okay, everything pans out for
Oops.
Adam. I see Kovalchuk. Oh, dude, the New Jersey Devils contract though, that was crazy, and then he
Yeah.
retired after. wildest story, and the Kuznetsov. So 2 Russians. I love it. I don't know about the Novotny for Kovalchuk. I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see the elite offensive upside there. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I've been comparing Novotny to like an Alex Steen for a long
Mhm.
time. And that's a guy who can drive, play 200 feet, but he's never going to be explosive enough. Kovalchuk was a dog. Like when Kovalchuk wanted to score a goal, he was scoring a goal. It did not matter. I don't think Novotny's got quite that, but he's got the physical upside. He's got the shot. It's there. It's there. And then Kuznetsov and Malhotra, I think, is genuine. I think that's a solid one.
Yeah,
Maybe with some less physicality, but it's pretty close.
completely agree. And that will close out our ask me anything portion. But I'm gonna create a room. Are you on the site? Should I send you the link in the private chat?
No, I'll get on the site. Yeah.
So we can. Oh, it's already on the private chat, but that's not the code. That's not the code. That was for my last stream. I didn't realize it's saved. That's interesting.
And I gotta pull everything back up after StreamYard nuked my computer.
But we'll each do 16 teams. The order is going to
Nice.
be completely randomized based on who we click. So it might not completely be 16 because you're going to get the Blues for sure. I want to hear your opinion on all 3 of those picks. So that's
Oh
3.
yeah.
But we're not going to do a 2-round mock at this. Like, I don't want to do that right now. But
Yeah.
1-round mock. I'll create the room whenever you're ready. If you can sign in as a guest, you do not have to sign in. Just hit the guest thing and then type your name or your
Cool.
NHL handle so people could get to you. Then we'll be good to go.
Awesome. Let me get this going. Cool. I am in. And it's just at NHLFoley.
Heck yeah. So I'm going to create that number. Do not join this, please, guys. I'm sorry. This is just a me and Foley one. I'll run some ones later tonight. I know that you guys love when I go and do these. I'm sending the code. If you can type that code in to the
Gotcha.
left, then you'll be in. If you guys want to ever message your people, you can. I don't want to do an audio version because I feel like it would be like the Black Ops Xbox lobbies. But
Da-na-na,
I
na-na-na.
I don't even want to test that service. But if you guys are interested in that, find another place. I can't do that. But go on Discord. I don't know. But click your teams. I'm gonna go just the left side. I feel like that's easiest thing to do. And then on your screen, they're gonna auto lock. So when you click mine, or when you click one, you are going to
Yeah.
auto lock it on my screen. So I feel like that's a cool feature.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So just click all 16 of those teams. Wait, did I get the Blues?
You got the
Oh, I did.
Blues,
Yeah, get the Blues. Get the Blues.
stealing them. All right. That was
Awesome.
quick.
So we could do the draft versus the Don, which just means that every single time we pick a player, there's going to be a really cool fact of the player that comes up. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
up. The Canucks are the first team. First, I don't know. Okay, that's weird. The Blackhawks are 4, but the Canucks are the first team. I think that they would go Gavin McKenna from the BC area, but didn't actually grow up a Flames fan. So they could actually go Ivar Stenberg. This is one of those teams that could pick Ivar Stenberg first. They're building the Swedish Avengers there, but I'm going to go Gavin McKenna. I cannot pick Gavin McKenna first. And it says Gavin McKenna grew up watching Patrick Kane. Don sees the influence. So the down facts, if you do this one, it just shows all these cool facts. A couple interesting ones like Marco D'Amico is bald, like some random stuff. So, yeah, whatever I thought of, I put in.
That's funny. That's funny. You were saying it earlier with this Flames pick. That's going to be an interesting one too.
This is a great question, Anthony. I love your questions, Anthony. And I love, dude, Trevor is like the score updater. Like I swear to God, he'll DM me and I'm like, I didn't even know there was a game on at that point. I was just like zoned in and he's like, dude, the just A team is, I think it was like Sharks Blues or something. He was like, dude, the Sharks Blues have to not go to overtime, and you're just giving me updates. So I love your updates, Trevor. Thank you. Rangers are up 3-1, which is huge for the tank for any Blackhawks fans. Have a question. Is it easier to teach a prospect who is great defender to become a good scorer or a great scorer to become a great defender? Oh, that's a tough one. While we do this, the Flames are going to take Ivar Stenberg. You got to take both of those players. Ivar Stenberg's brother was drafted to the Blues. Hockey families are Don's favorite. I never said that. I don't know why I said that. Did you know Verhoff played goalie growing up? Kind of a cool
Yes.
one. So if you click this, it will spew out a random fact. And it was
I
the same random fact.
I love where we're at because Rangers are faced with the tough question here. First off, the NHLE conversion here is awesome. This is, I think, the proper display of
Thank
NHLE
you.
is a small to the side thing, helps you contextualize. What does 70 points mean in the OHL versus 20 in the
Yeah.
SHL? They're different
And
things. They're different.
well, I'm so sorry to cut you off, but there is
No, you're right.
a feature that when you click a player, all of their stats come up, their height, their weight. For some reason, when I was editing the last code, it dropped off. So I have to put that back in. So like
Mm.
literally when I get off, I'm going to do that. But it was a cool display. And honestly, like I love your cards. If we can somehow implement your cards in here, dude, that would be sick. But like the
Yeah.
standings and everything and the heights and all that stuff, they're all in there when you click a player. Right now for this, it doesn't. So gotta fix the code. But this is still a beta. You guys are the first users of this. We actually had like 9,000 people on yesterday, so that was pretty cool that we got that amount of surge. But yeah, there's still going to be a bunch of stuff I have to code. But like you were saying, the Rangers are with a tough position. This is your pick. Who are they taking?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to make this answer, but I think a 1C, a top line center, goes further in a rebuild than a top defender. I think you can find top defenders kind of scattered throughout, maybe in free agency. And Don, you were asking me what I think of Malhotra's odds of being a top center. I think they're pretty good. I think they're
Yeah,
pretty good. I think he knows how to control a lineup. I think he blazed his path on a really good Brantford team. So here at 3 for New York, we're going a little off board. I'm going Caleb Malhotra.
you know, I am absolutely in love with the Liam Greentree Caleb Malhotra line. After that,
Yes,
that would be
absolutely.
fun.
Who would be there on left wing? Maybe Brendan Othman, Adam Sikora. Get a
Did they
grinder on there.
they traded Brendan Hoffman, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did. Gosh,
That was surprising. I
yeah,
mean,
it was right at the deadline there.
I don't think Gabe Perreault would be on that line, but I think that would be really fun.
Yeah,
Maybe. But you took my pick. But with the Blackhawks, I think that they're getting an incredible value here. Keaton Verhoff, figure out what the heck to do next. Don't overthink this. I think that this is a really good pick because you're getting value. If Keaton Verhoff, like another day, another steal, business as usual. It's so stupid. Really stupid. I'm sorry, guys. But I feel like Keaton Verhoff needs to be in the top three, and if he isn't, whoever is drafting four is going to get a really great rant from like Nathan Grav or Hot Take Hockey or me online. So I'm really excited. And
that's
your
so
your
funny.
Blues are up at 5, and five's a great pick because I don't know what your rankings are, and I'd love to see when they come out. But Chase Reed, Carson Carroll, Smiths, you could have any one of those as your top defenseman off the board at that point because
Yeah.
Craig Button had Carl Carroll's at 2, which I was surprised about, and we'll talk about two twins that I was surprised about his rankings. But other than that, Carson Carroll's or who's your top defenseman for your team?
Yeah, my top defenseman in the draft is still on the board. I think my top three is glued as McKenna, Stenberg, and Chase Reed. The
Yeah, I
Blues
knew it.
uh, just had to trade Justin Falk, so they're missing
Yeah.
that puck moving right defenseman. I agree. Don't overthink Verhoff. Don't overthink Chase Reed. Those are special right defensemen, which is a value position.
Those are my two defensemen. I think it's between Smits and Carroll's as well. I mean, Carroll's models this game after Mira Hiskin and Jake Sanderson. But Smits also said he doesn't like any other NHL players, so completely different people. But it's gonna be crazy. This defensive draft is loaded. I love it.
Yeah.
I can't talk good about it enough. And when a guy like Daxon Rudolph is like, there's gonna be 5 defensive players, and Daxon Rudolph is still not taken at like pick 11 or 12 probably. Like, it's a great draft. Like you were saying,
Yeah.
one of the best ones this year are in the 20s. In the 2020s, that's crazy.
In
But
the 20s.
I'm so old now. I'm 27. Like, bury me in my casket now. Like, this is crazy. But Winnipeg Jets for your pick. This is an interesting one too. I went to the Jets practice, and they are so done with the season. Like, they do not care at all. It was really funny.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Not the return that Taser wanted. But I think there's a real Winnipeg kind of player on the board here. And I think it's another don't overthink it, right?
Yep.
Carson Carrolls is a dog. He does it all well. He plays a complete game. And you know what? Maybe Winnipeg's loading up a little bit too much on the defense. You know, they got Salmonson, they got Free. But Carroll's is top line projection, top paired projection. Hard to argue that, even with guys who may have higher floors like Smeets, like Rudolph on the board. Carroll's is the one who could do something in Winnipeg.
That's exactly who I was going to take for Boston. So that stinks. But Albert Smits would be a fantastic fit. I do think that the Boston Bruins need to go defense. They've had, I mean, the Dean Pot, which Link from New Wave Hockey, please check him out. He told me his nickname was the Dean Pot for himself. So the Dean Pot, Dean Laturdo, has looked fantastic. I mean, I'm surprised. After his D+1 year, I did not see that coming. So that's a fault on me. Obviously, I don't know how I could have seen that coming, but Albert Smits is a fantastic player. He has a lot of floor, a really good, I think, top 4 floor. Could he be that top pair defenseman in Boston? Maybe. I think that this guy is built for the playoffs. He has good size at 6'3", and he's also played for the Olympic team at Latvia, so he's playing against men. It kind of reminded me of when Luka Doncic was 16-year-old playing the USA team, and he was torching a little bit, or Wemby when he was playing 16. So I really like when you're like a prospect and you play against the talent. So NHLFoley's up for the Predators. They had one of the greatest marketing schemes ever, where it was Preds in the community, which was hilarious shirts. I felt like that was the worst decision they could make, but yeah, that's yeah. Go ahead. I don't know what I'm.
No, it's gorgeous. If that's not the Don fact for the Predators, I don't know what should be.
The Preds in the community.
The Preds. Wow, another Pred in the community. Nashville's got set up. They got Brady Martin. They got Zachary Lehur. They got Svechkov there down the middle. Add the left winger to it. Get Ethan Belchetz. That's a projectable top 6 NHLer. I mean, you just no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right?
I do have one question for you for the Preds.
Yeah.
I know they took Brady Martin. Do you think they could go Oscar Hemming and put to just like say we're gonna destroy you?
Yeah, no kidding. We're gonna make you insufferable to play against us. That sounds like a Nashville move. I wonder how they're gonna operate with a GM change this summer too.
Yeah.
Who's calling the draft? You know, who's making that decision?
I would not be surprised if it's still
Trotz.
I was gonna say Torts. Torts has been on my mind recently with this Golden Knight situation, but Yeah, that's very interesting. Ethan Belches is a great player. He plays with Liam Greentree too. Two high IQ players. Somebody asked me yesterday about the comparison between him and Porter Martone. Porter Martone had a better shot, better playmaker in my opinion. I think could handle the puck better. But Ethan Belches is a more of a power forward, uses his body a little bit more, as well as he can skate better. So,
Yep.
yep. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And
So they're cracking. Oh, go ahead.
you know
Go ahead.
what? Yeah, I got a string here. So feel free to jump in if you got any thoughts on these guys. I got a pick for Seattle. I think it makes a lot of sense. But is there a guy speaking to you for the Kraken? I mean, they need something. They got to get it going.
Well, since 2021, their inaugural season, they have not picked a defenseman. So I would just spam first defenseman that falls.
So you're picking Dax and Rudolph. I'm
I would pick
disagreeing. I'm
Dax.
sticking with Trend.
But I know you don't like him, so don't pick him. Don't pick him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
So
I'm not saying you don't like him. I'm not saying like in this range. In this range.
yeah, there you go. I do like Oscar Hemming in this range. I think
that.
Oscar Hemming has that physical dog in him that you need to put next to Matty Beniers, next to Shane Wright if Shane Wright sticks.
We're getting a request from Anthony. Draft Adam Novotny at 10 for my Panthers. What do you think about that?
I love this pick because it sets up a great next pick. First off, Adam Novotny.
Oh, yeah.
Look at what the Panthers did with Sam Reinhart, right? Transition guy who kind of plays between the tackles and gets open ice for shots. That's Adam Novotny. So I think that's a great fit.
Oh, my gosh. Frondell scored. I missed it.
Let's go. Is that his first?
Yes, sir. Oh, I got to pull up the game.
Yeah, we got to run through this.
Didn't
We
even
got to run
think
through
about
this. Well, I'll stick with my mock draft choice from last week for the Sharks here. I think the Sharks have nothing to lose. Not a thing to lose in this draft. It's only upside. They already have the best prospect pool. So I say either take a guy like Daxon Rudolph, who can drive your power play, be that second pair right defenseman, platoon with Polkamp, or take Vigo Bjork. Vigo Bjork, what upside. I mean, imagine if your center depth chart is Celebrini, Bjork, and Cole McKinney. Oh, that's a Gabe Foley kind of depth chart. Yeah, that's what I want to see. So I'm manifesting that. Give me Bjork to San Jose.
Dude, on that shift, Frondell was absolutely everywhere. Holy moly. That was insane.
Really?
Wow. What a score. Wait, let me pull this up for you guys on X because I know BHF has the clip. He always has the clip, but I want to share it. Thank you so much, Trevor, for telling me, but yeah, this thing will go viral for sure. This isn't the full. So I think you guys are on. So this is him. He's obviously 16 for Marcus Kruger, baby. Love it. Right there. Great shot. He loves it. What a shot.
Gosh.
Hopefully they let me in Blackhawks practice tomorrow. I got to ask.
The energy from this kid is awesome.
He's so good. He's elite right now in his first couple games. Vigo Bjork is a great pick for the Sharks. For the New Jersey Devils, I think that they've had a logjam at defenseman prospects. I don't see them go there. I would go, and they also have a lot of centers. So I feel like Oliver Savanto, get that size, that big 6'3" size, put that in your bottom six, if not, or second line or whatever it is. But just get that player right there for you.
You got a run coming up here. So I feel comfortable letting your boy slide one more pick. We worked together to make this selection last week. I think Tynan Lawrence has Washington Capitals written all over him. Reliable two-way center. Maybe he's not going to be a superstar, but maybe he can be a Nico Hischier kind of, first C, second C fringe guy. That's what Washington needs to just fortify, make room for Kristoff, for Protas, for all these players coming through their system, and leave some boys on the board for you. We got a good setup of Don kind of picks right here.
Well, I really wanted Daxon Rudolph to make his way to Matthew Schaefer and the Islanders, but the Flyers didn't take Steve Boyum in that 2024 draft. They took Jet Luchenko. So this is when they get their right-handed defenseman. The Islanders, I feel like they could go in a multitude of directions. They could go in Piparainen, but they drafted a very high-skilled driving player last year in Victor Eklund. Could they go Rhineland? I think they could get some juice with a guy like Morozov too. For me, it's going to be Nikita Klepov. I think that
Ooh.
I really like Nikita Klepov. Maybe I should have went
Ooh.
JP, but that's interesting there. For the Kings, I think the Kings could go Hurlbert. Kind of need that.
Interesting.
You get a lot of scoring and production. You just lost Liam Greentree. I think that they kind of need that added into their prospect pool. The Sharks, they took Vigo Bjork. Oh, never mind. It's you.
It's I. Let's quickly reminisce on those. I like those picks a lot. Philadelphia gets Jamie Drysdale alternative.
Yeah.
I mean that's the tandem right there. New York stocks their right wing, gets a guy who can actually play above Simone Holmstrom. And we've seen Holmstrom pops in the top 6, but he struggles to keep it. That second, third line's where he really produces his most. And then JP Hurlbert goes to a Kings team that needs a dog, needs someone who can make a difference for their rebuild. So I love that bunch. Now we're on to San Jose, and we're back to nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. But San Jose does need right defense. I think Eric Polkamp is a 20-minute-a-night guy. But if he's not, you got to shore up your bets with a defensive player like Juho Piparinen.
Love it. Exactly who I was going to take. That's literally who I was taking because I thought I was on the board. So
yeah, it's a perfect fit. I mean, imagine adding Esa Lindell to the Sharks lineup right now. That'd be art.
Piparinen is going to be a Shark. I really fully believe that if they don't get lucky and get a guy like if they're 11 right now, they would need to win the lottery to be 1 or 2. So I don't know if they could even get in a spot where they get Verhoff, but who knows? Who knows how it plays out? They could be like 12th or 13th. They could be like 13th or 14th win the lottery and stick at 3 or 4 like Utah Mammoth did and pick one of those right-handed defensemen. But I think Piparinen will be a Shark. So clip this if that's correct. But don't if it's not. So for the Flames, they took Reggie and Colin Potter last year, under 6-foot players. I feel like they could go defenseman here, but I'm actually going to go with Morozov, who was the youngest player in the NCAA until Oscar Hemming went there. So a little fun prospect Dawn fact, which is not even on the board. But there it is. I like Morozov's game. I think he played well with the Miami, Ohio team, and I thought he played well in the NCAA.
This is just such a fun hangout because it flows so natural. Appreciate the chat. Appreciate the flow here. I'm set up beautiful to make this pick for Utah and share some inside baseball along the way. We're going completely off board. We're going outside of Don's first round rankings.
Okay, all right.
To pick a guy who I know is in Utah's top 20 rankings or was at one point. That's Simas Ignatavicius. Mouthful to say, but a dynamic systems winger. He's great on the cycle. He's great on the forecheck. They got Logan Cooley. They got Gunther. They got Desnoyers. They're short up at center and right wing. Add that left winger who can be a top 6 addition. I think that's a great fit right there.
My dog has joined the chat. He wants to talk. He's he's good for once every viewing, for like 2 minutes, and then he gets down. But that's a great pick. I know that he's rising up a lot of people's draft boards. I've talked about this name more than I think anybody that I've ranked outside the top 2 in the first round. So definitely cool to get your insight about the Mammoth, though.
Yeah, popular NHL prospect. Really
Yeah.
jumping up some boards. And another popular NHL prospect. He's kind of, shifting on boards, rising on some, falling on others. I have some friends who wouldn't, touch him with a 10-foot pole in the draft, which I think is kind of crazy. But Marcus Nordmark is a Blues kind of player.
Nice.
As a Blues kind of player, they love their Swedish shooters. That's all Marcus Nordmark is. So give me Nordmark to round out our top 20 there.
He was top 30 in my rankings, but then I actually
Mhm.
just switched him last week. So, yeah, a lot of people said he doesn't love hockey, and I'm like, how do you even know that? But
Interesting.
I'm like, how do you know that from your live viewing or your viewings? Like, did you ask him that? But thought that was kind of funny. So the Bruins, they selected Albert Smits for my pick, and they could double dip on defense and go with a Ryan Lynn. I think like Ryan Lynn would be a good value here, but on this specific board. But I think Ryan Rubrick is still a player that you have that upside. They have taken big boys recently with the Dean Letourneau. I think they could double dip in that aspect, and he'd be a good forward with them. He scored 40 goals last year in the OHL. This year, kind of had kind of similar season, but not great. People kind of wanted him to do a lot more, but I thought he had a fine season.
Yeah. It was up and down. It was hot and cold. But he was solid at the end. And that's what you want to see. I mean, the end of the year, those spring games are the ones that matter.
Yep.
This is an interesting spot for Columbus to be in. Really interesting spot because what does Columbus need? And do they need another winger? I don't know. It depends on Voronkov. Do they need a defenseman? I don't know. They got Jackson Smith in the pipeline. Tough calls. I say pick a style as far away from what they have right now. I'm going William Hawkinson. That's a
Love it.
defense heavy guy for Columbus there. And then I got Montreal too. Oh, that's a fun pick. Who does Montreal go? Knowing that, really the focus of their building right now is building out that middle six, right? I say the guy that does that brings projectable style, brings a style that's not going to interfere with Demidov and Slavkovsky as your top line wingers. I'm going Ellen Hermanson.
Where do you have him ranked?
I have him right around that 20-25 range. I have felt strongly since that Ellen Hermanson is just Jaden Schwartz. Carbon copy. I really think they're so similar. Yeah. The heavy forecheckers, high skill when they need it, but they prefer to be nasty around the net instead. If that's Jaden Schwartz, that's the second line left winger that Montreal needs to, bump Kirby Dach into a role where he can have ice packs on both elbows and keep Slavkovsky on the top line. I'm willing to take that projectability over a guy like Wyatt Cullen, who's really emerging looking like he could be an X Factor pick in the 20s.
That's an interesting one. The run on Swedish prospects for you has hit. Nordmark, Hawkinson, and then Hermanson. So for Pittsburgh, this is an interesting one. It says their need is center, but they've drafted a couple of them. They took obviously Kendall Bilzanen as a winger. Maybe they go into the direction of a defenseman this time. Villeneuve would be fun there, but it's not really
That'd be fun.
I'm gonna say Villeneuve. I like that play. Smaller guy, 5'11", but in the queue, 36 points, 35 games. I think that the production we thought was going to be better, like multiple 4-point games to start the season, but kind of slowed down a little.
Villeneuve or Ryan Lynn, those both feel like Penguins to me. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's a good call.
I could have went Ryan Lynn for sure. Ryan Lynn
Ace Hall.
probably goes before, but I'm gonna go Ryan Lynn here actually.
Yeah, that feels like a fitting pick. Vancouver and their perpetual issue with finding right defensemen.
Yeah,
It's constant.
it could be Pantelis there too, but Ryan Lynn was just falling a lot, and the Canucks have so many picks. They're gonna get DuPont next year probably, so why not?
Oh gosh, that'd be something. I think Landon DuPont's so good. That kid's got Connor McDavid personality to him.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna I'm gonna go Wyatt Cullen here to Seattle. They need an X factor. They need someone who's gonna bring something different. That could be Cullen. He could be explosive. Uh, but as I mull over New York Rangers options, I want to hear your thoughts on Pentelis. Top 20 is a high ranking for him.
yeah. I have him very very high because I think that the size, the right-handed defenseman, he put a lot of production up. I mean, it wasn't like a point per game, but played well with the Wheat Kings, and I feel like this is just a player that you could continue to see. Oh, Frondell almost scored again. Wow. But this is a kind of player that I think will be a top four defenseman if he hits. And similar to Jacob Rombach, this is kind of
Yeah.
he was like a top 40 pick and then he went or top 50 pick, but then he went in the 30s. And it's kind of the
Mhm.
same thing. Like this is a guy he should be in this range. Maybe not in the 20s per se, but I'm taking a chance here. I really do
Yeah.
like his game.
I think all these defensemen in the 20s, Ryan Lynn included, Villeneuve included, they're all taking a chance. And I think that's what New York's got to go here. We had him picking Malhotra earlier, so we'll shift to the
Yeah.
blue line. I'm going to take Malte Gustafsson.
Yeah,
Really interesting kid.
Malte Gustafsson is Viggo Gustafsson's brother, and actually he was drafted to the Predators in 2024. So kind of cool hockey family there. But
I saw
Gabe
the
is
Don
up.
fact. I know that you
Yeah.
love the hockey families.
I don't know why it said that. That's so bad.
That's so funny. Yeah, we had a York and Malhotra that only shifted to defense to go with Gustafsson. Not doing that with Washington. Washington needs to span these centers because Pierre-Luc Dubois and Dylan Strom aren't going to be there forever. So give me, after a projectable two-way center like Tynan Lawrence, give me Jack Hextall. Is he a center? Is he a right winger? I don't know, but he's a support player. In an article that I released earlier today on my newsletter, I comped him to Eric Halla. I think that's an
Wow.
interesting one.
That's awesome. Definitely check that out, everybody. Really good Substack. So I think the Sabres here, it's going to be interesting, Gabe. Who do you think they're going to trade in 2 years?
I think they're going to trade 2 years. that's that's a really good setup with the pick I'm about to make. Because I know you wanted to talk about these boys. I think I like one of them more than the other one, but they're both really worth talking about. I'll pass the floor to you. Talk about Liam Ruck being the next goal scorer for the Buffalo Sabres.
Yeah, so interesting enough, like Liam Ruck has scored like 85% of his goals 3 feet in front of the net, which I'm not necessarily sure if that's going to translate based on he's not a 6'5" bruiser in front of the net. But him and his brother Marcus just have incredible chemistry together. And it's just like I feel like the value is with taking both of them, and it's clear. Like Marcus is he has tremendous vision, really good playmaker. And a lot of the times Liam Ruck is either just set up for a slap shot, has open space. So that's why I have them ranked over here and not where Craig Button had them ahead of Malhotra. Like he had them at 10 and 12. I just can't get on board with that. But I think you have to have them in your first round at this point. Maybe not
It's interesting.
both of them, but I think you have to have one of them in your first round.
I think Liam Ruck's the best forward in the WHL. And that's a
Okay.
hot take with Mathis Preston there, but I'm on board with you.
Is okay. Best forward in the WHL. That's interesting.
Best draft
Like
eligible forward, I guess I
Gotcha.
should say. Yeah, my bad.
But yeah, he's been fantastic. He really has. You don't put up 104 points for no reason unless you're Sidney Crosby's line mate. But Carolina Hurricanes, I think that they could go with one guy. I've only continued to mock him here, Nikita Sherbakov. They love their Russians. This is
Oh,
exactly who they'll take.
I could see Preston there, even Marcus Ruck if we're thinking crazy, but yeah,
Yeah.
Sherbakov, that makes sense.
I think they've taken eight Russian forwards in the last, or 8 Russian players in the last 4 years or something. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's because those
18.
NHL rights are indefinite.
Yeah.
When you draft them, they're yours. So that's a real interesting play. That's a very Eric Tulsky thing to do. I really like the prospects of Ben McBeath playing with Chase Reed for the next decade. I think that's a very kind of uh, Scott Stevens and Niedermeyer kind of pairing.
That's a good one.
But I'm gonna step away from that. Go back to a guy we talked about an hour ago. Take Alexander Command here for the Blues. In that
Nice.
same article this morning, looking at guys the Blues could pick, I actually mentioned Command and comped him to Jared McCann. That's
Okay.
another high skill guy, gets between the tackles. Answer me this: is Jared McCann a top line player? Not really. Not really. I mean, sometimes, but sometimes he's on the third line. And I
Yeah,
kind of
he's
think that's
versatile.
where, yeah, Command could be that. He's skill and you just got to fit him in somewhere.
hmm I'm not the biggest Jared McCann fan. If
Yeah, not the biggest Alexander Command fan either.
well, there you go. I guess. I wonder. I wonder what it is. I wonder what this deep root is in my childhood that I don't like that style of play. Maybe I saw it too many times watching the Ducks or the Kings in the playoffs. I don't know what it is.
You saw too much Patrick Sharp, and now
Ooh,
that's the ideal. No one's ever going to be Patrick Sharp again.
yeah. And Patrick Sharp took very long in his first 3 seasons. Like I think he only had one season where he was a point per game player for the Blackhawks. Like how
Yeah.
crazy is that? Him and Marian Hossa are tied Marian Hossa and Sharp are a combined one season with a point per game for the Blackhawks. That's
God,
insane.
that's insane. Yeah, thinking about those teams, that's wild.
Yeah. I mean, they should have
All
just
right.
been running up Liam Ruck numbers, but
They were saving it for Patty Kane, but Patty Kane
yeah.
never broke the century mark with Chicago. Yeah,
I thought he did once, but maybe not. Maybe
it,
that was the year that it was a lockout and he would have.
oh,
But
yeah, that might have been it.
that's crazy.
Rounding us out, I get to close us with Ottawa here. I'm going to do a
The
quick bite
punished
on
pick.
the punished pick, the pick that will not be. I'm going to do a quick bite on a lot of first round value on this board, and that's why I think this class is really good. You've got a great case for Pentelis, well rounded, and he's got good instinct. Mathis Preston, so high skill. Remember, he was a top 10 candidate in his age 16, age 17 seasons. Marcus Ruck, dynamic playmaker, one of the highest scoring prospects in the world. Igor Shilov, great puck mover,
Mm.
absolutely great play making. But I think there's a really Sanders kind of pick here. If we're making a choice for him, I think it's Ben McBeath. A huge frame on the kid. He can move the puck. You see the team that drafted Carter Yakemchuk. Put McBeath next to him, and you won't have too many problems.
I love that pick. He was somebody that's been rising a lot, especially in Lynx board. Feel like that could be a Flyers pick too. But
Yeah,
yeah, that was the mock draft. Thought we did great. I think that was. You guys can do this too if you guys want. You could always send the codes to your friends and then just join. Let's
Super
check some
easy.
of these questions. Well, I thought they'd take Ruck since they have scoring issues. Tell me who you were talking about. The Blackhawks have a right D issue. Sorry, I'm making sure we trade for DuPont. Already Kevin 4 firsts. Ours being 2 or top 5 for him. Wait, I wouldn't do this, but you're giving away if you're gonna do this, I'd just go to
4
the
first.
Islanders and be like, hey, can we get Schaefer? And they'll be like, no. So
Call them a few times over and over until they're tired of it.
with mock draft simulator, you should do something similar to what you see with Pro Football Network. They give you all the options depending on where you're picking. All right, so do they like create offers for you? I have to check that. What is it? Pro Football Network. Wait, yeah. Okay, cool. Helly is the only reason the Jets team isn't worse than Vancouver. Vancouver's a college team. Don, what do you need to do? Is something similar to what you see with okay. So you sent me this twice. Oh wait, no, it's different. Where they do a trade value for each pick instead of choosing a team to trade with. Okay. Sheila. Yeah, so Calgary taking Ruck instead of Morozov. Future lineup of Stenberg, Regini, and Ruck. That could be fun. I don't know. Are you watching the Blackhawks game right now?
Yeah, I'm not. I didn't want to overwork my system.
Let's see. I want to check this. So the Bruins are up. The Stars are losing. Obviously, the Habs and Lightning are playing. The Florida Panthers looks like they won, but you can never be too sure anymore. The Rangers are up 4-1 on the Devils, which is actually crazy. They looked good against the Blackhawks. I thought they would go on a run, but I didn't. I mean, the Devils have just been awful, and it's also
Yeah.
good for the Devils to lose too. So this is a really big tank game for Blackhawks fans because you have the Panthers implications and the Rangers for that. In terms of that, the Blackhawks are up 1-0, but you want them to be winning if Frondell scores. Like the only way you want the Blackhawks to win is if it's coming from the kids in the next era. I don't want Burakovsky to score 4 goals and win. So that's just my thing. I root for the Blackhawks to and their prospects, but I'm not going to lie. Like I would want them to lose these remaining games. Like why would I not? So I get a lot of slack for that in my comments, and they call me a hater. But it's like I shouldn't even be a Blackhawks fan. Like I should be just the prospect on. But I have my fan biases. I can't
There are
stop.
going to be wins down the line for Chicago. The wins are
Yeah,
set to come. Have the
they'll
fun
come.
right now.
Foley, in your honest opinion, do you feel it's easier to teach a forward who's already a great defender to improve his scoring, or an elite scorer to improve his defense and be a 200-foot player?
This is an interesting one. It's an interesting question, Anthony. You've been asking them all night. It's easier for a kid to be a great scorer. It's, those are the skills that a lot of kids focus on coming up through youth hockey is they want to be good skaters. They want to be good stick handlers. The kids that end up good defensive players at 17 to 18 are usually kids who have real high IQ, kids who study the game, study the art of the game, try and fit into their coaches' systems. So I think it's easier to be a scorer and then maybe easier to teach those kids how to hold back. You got to wait for your chances to boom when you're playing pro hockey. There's no stretching north of the blue line on the breakout. You got to make sure that puck gets out of the zone first. So, it's restraint. It's restraint. Now, if we're talking great defense, how do we define that? Because a lot of great scorers are too small, don't hit hard enough. There's some aspects that don't quite translate. And so I'm flipping it. It might be those defensive players who focus on the IQ, focus on the technical aspects of the game, who break out in the pros as a great scorer, not because they're high skill or they're necessarily beating guys, but because they know where to go. They're not scared to hit into the slot. They're not scared to make a play behind the net. That's where points come in at the pro levels, NHL, AHL, even down in the coast. So I think I'm going with the latter there, Anthony. I think it's easier to teach a good defensive player how to be a good scorer than it is to try and mold a great scorer into being defensively responsible. That's not what those guys are on the ice to do.
I said in the comments that it was the scorer because being an elite defenseman or very, very good defenseman is extremely hard. And that's why it takes defenders a lot longer to get into the NHL. You're seeing that. That's why it's insane what Matthew Schaefer's doing. But
yeah, 18.
Matthew Schaefer is 10 days away from being in this draft class.
In this class?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Where do you think he would have went? Because he would have been, let's say he was injured, right? And everything had happened. Where would he go? Like 4 or 5? Accidentally, not even get the
I don't know. Would he have put up 200 points in the OHL this season? I mean, he might be a Norris finalist. It's ridiculous.
Well, let's say like last year he had a good season, but this year he was the one where he played 17 games. Like you can't take that over McKenna.
McKenna and Stenberg.
Yeah.
I
think a GM would get fired.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean McKenna's got century scoring upside.
Yeah.
Do you take it over Chase Reed and Keaton Verhoff?
I mean, with hindsight, you take him over all those guys, but it's just like 17 games, 22 points. He looked like the best player at World Juniors, and then he broke his collarbone. I think that he probably would go 4. Like, I think Verhoff would be over him. I don't know if GMs would overthink that. It's an interesting conversation that I've never had. I don't know.
Yeah, and OHL Erie Otters tore down after Schaefer left. Their best player was maybe Alex Misak this year. There were rumors about Schaefer going to the NCHC, the National Conference in college.
Wow.
So is that where he would have ended up? Would he have been in Verhoff's role? Would he have been at Denver? It's such a funny what if, because we're talking about Norris contender, a guy who could win MVP awards before he's, our age. It's ridiculous.
It's a crazy conversation. Guys, where do you think he would go? Say he played 17 games played, 22 points, broke his collarbone. Are you taking him over McKenna or Stenberg or Verhoff or Chase Reed? I mean, we could go down the list now. It's like, oh my God. Obviously, he went over Misa and Frondell, and both of those players are fantastic too. And the 2025 draft did not have the upside. The hype it should have. That thing was insane. Frondell's probably going to be a superstar, and like I believe that he could be. Honestly, I think Michael Misa could be, and I think that Schaefer could be. I mean, I know that Schaefer will, but at the same time, like when there's a really good draft class and there's a good number 1 pick, I'm always excited to see what the other picks are because we always compare that player to those other guys. So if the one guy's really good and incredible, then just think about how good James Haggins really is and how good Porter Martone really is. And like, it's like Jake O'Brien, like it's going to be insane. So if Gavin, Ivan, and Anton were in a draft with Barkov, would they be drafted above or ahead of him?
Barkov was a really good pro in his draft year. He had 21 goals and 48 points in 53 Liga games in his draft year. I mean, he was always that guy. So I think you go Barkov there, even with it, even with all that, because Gavin's small, right?
I think it would go McKenna, Barkov, Demidov, Anton.
Yeah.
That's who I think it would be.
Yeah, fair. All right, I think I got space for one more question. I'll take one not from Anthony. And then I got to hop off. But I encourage you guys to stick around. Don mentioned run through a little bit more of the great features on the website. And this has been such a good space. I mean, we'll make sure to have a couple more of these before the draft. Maybe get some more buddies on.
Heck yeah, dude.
Love.
You're always welcome. I love these things. The people in here, the supporters, they're fantastic. The questions are
Yes.
awesome. They're puck knowers. So I'm glad as the prospect dot. It's good that I actually have people that watch my stream that know hockey. So so it's great. I love that we got to do the mock draft together too. Obviously, I'm gonna continue to only be on this website for the rest of my life. I'm sorry. This is just a fun little tool too. So hope that we can continue to do this together, build more teams, build more rosters. We have one more question. Well, we got a couple ones. With the win, the Panthers moved to 8th during a just win. I'm talking about Stenberg, not Demidov. Oh, Ivar Stenberg. Okay, yeah. So it would be McKenna, Barkov. And then Stenberg or Anton. I probably think Stenberg goes first, but yeah.
Yeah, I would think so. Little bit more there.
Yeah. And it's not that being a Frondell hater, I love Frondell, and I would probably take him now over Stenberg right now because you're seeing how incredible and the deployment he is for Chicago. I think that he brings a lot more to Chicago, especially Bedard's wing, for the Hawks specifically. But I think that Stenberg has more hype as a prospect, and he's done more as a prospect. People forget Frondell was the third-ranked player in summer scouting last year, but the thing was that he got hurt 3 straight times. You can't really come back from that when you get hurt 3 straight times and then are playing some SHL games too. And if you look at the J20 last year, Vigo Bjork put up like 74 points in 40 games, and Anton put up 7 in 10 games. So there was kind of conversation about why he wasn't dominating the J20, and it was just he was hurt, you know. So Seattle would be 9th, or Panthers would be 9th if Seattle loses. So Panthers could do it. I mean, they gave away a couple really bad games. One of the Islanders, then they lost with 3 seconds left as well. So that's tough. Who are some lesser known players that have jumped out and probably good second round picks?
This is
and
a question.
I'm gonna go pee real quick, and then we'll do a sign off. But I've been drinking a lot of water. I'm sorry. So
this guy hydrated and healthy. We love it. He's leaving me with you guys to close us off here. And I'm gonna plug the newsletter one more time. I'm on Substack. You can find me on at NHLFoley. Dropped a piece that I think is earlier today on who the Blues could pick in what I'm calling my scouts book. Going to do these for a few teams with mini scouting reports in here and a comp for every player. And I'll hit on a few guys who I think are lesser known, who have stood out in my second round and who I had in that article if you want more info on them, including a timeline for how long it may take them to get to the NHL. Let's hit them real quick here. I mentioned Pavel Denisov earlier today. I think he's a Jeff Petrie type. Not getting most engaged offensively, but he's heavy. He plays those blue lines well. He's stepping into my second round where I didn't think he would. Another one, Swedish winger Oscar Olsson. He's played behind a lot of good talent in Sweden, so he's not getting huge minutes, but the kid's chippy. He's feisty. I think he could be a Lawson Krause type of player. Few more. I got Morgan Anderberg, Swedish center, who is addicted to standing in the low slot. He's got a problem. We got to talk to him about it, but I think he could be a Nick Cousins kind of player. And last one I'll throw out here, Russian center Viktor Fyodorov. Really interesting player. I think he's really similar to a Jean-Gabriel Pageau, where he's a dynamic center. You don't really know where he's going to be at any given time, but he's a reliable playmaker, and he's getting that puck through the neutral zone with consistency. So Denisov as a Jeff Petrie, Olsson as a Lawson Krause, Anderberg as a Nick Cousins, and Fyodorov as a JGP. May not sound like flashy comparisons, but those are guys you can build your roster around. Don, I appreciate you having my page up. Check this out. Go to that Substack link in the bio for this scouting report that I talk about. My top 100 rankings are on there from March 1st. A lot more content there. So I
Yeah,
appreciate this. What a fun time.
100%. Like, check out his profile. Help him get to 10,000 followers before the draft. I mean, like, it's been awesome seeing your coverage, and definitely check that out. I'm gonna link all of it in the description in the like, we have a live stream going on YouTube, so if you're on YouTube, it's gonna be there. So check his stuff out. His draft rankings right here on the Substack. Was running a mock draft already. Yeah, love it.
Quick
So
on it.
definitely check out his stuff. He's a prospect encyclopedia, like one of the best in the industry. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you taking 2 hours out of your day to
course.
do it. It took
Oh,
your
blast.
it was awesome. We got to do this again. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anthony has more questions for you, but I don't want you to stay up all night.
I'll bite here at the end. Oliver Suvanto, Tomas Hertl. I think that's the
Tomas
comparison
Hurdle.
there.
Oh wow. The 4 goal
Guys,
scorer in his debut.
yeah, stick around with Don here. This community is so fun. We love talking shop with you guys, and I'll definitely be back on soon. Don, thanks for the kind words. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Of course. See you later, man. Have a good night. Awesome. That was Gabe Foley. Incredible work. Please check out his stuff. I'm going to stay on for a little more minutes, a couple more minutes. I know Trevor really thought I was ending the stream. Not yet, boys. Not yet. We got some other things we got to do. Let's do some questions. If you guys have any questions for me, we're talking about the Blackhawks game 2. We're going to go to the league standing, the scores. I want to see exactly what's happening with that Rangers game. So we have 10 minutes left. This is not, we gotta refresh because I know, yeah, so 10 minutes left. I think Trevor, keep me updated on this one too, and if you guys want to do any more breakdowns, tell me what your team is and I'll do a lineup, and we can just pull your lineups if you guys want to answer the questions, or just like, I'll be like, where should this guy go, where should this guy go? If you got to build your own stuff in the GM tab, if you guys are new here, GM tab, we just created this. If you want to go to any of the teams, like Blackhawks are the one that I've been using a lot, but like you could do even Gavin McKenna, see exactly what kind of lineup the best prospects would kind of be. I think this is kind of a fun thing too. So Carson Carroll's, Albert Smith's with Chase Reed would be really fun. Daxon Rudolph, right-handed defenseman here. Let me see. I would do William Hawkinson with this lineup. I don't think you need the explosion. Tynan Lawrence, Ethan Belchez here. You got to have Vigo Bjork somewhere in this. Let's do an Oscar Hemming, Oliver Savanto line. That would be very fun. Adam Novotny on the 4th line just to get that depth, and then we can get a skilled player here. Let's see. Should we do Liam Ruckus center? JP Hurlbert could be on that line. Let's see. What center should we do? I mean, Ryan Rubrick, if he figures it out, that would be interesting. I mean, no, we're going to go Brooks Rogowski. That would be more of a 4th line player on this list. Ilya Morozov, I like this one. And then Nikita Klepov or JP Hurlbert. I'm going to go JP. You have a lot of skill already in this. Then let's see what goalies we're going to do. I know who I'm going to take. Tobias. Oh, yeah. We're going to go him as the backup. He's had a fantastic year in Russia, in the MHL. Just incredible stats. And Tobias Treble playing in the USHL for the Phantoms. So I think this would be my all prospect line. I think that this would be kind of cool. Let me know what you guys think about this, if you guys ever want to do that. Don, I believe what hurt Barkov, both Antons in their draft year respectively, is all three of them weren't flashy in one skill set. Okay, so in the SHL and playing in like overseas and even in the KHL and stuff like that, it's harder to showcase your skill because you're doing a lot more. That's why I think a lot of these guys' B games have become better recently. Someone asked me what like European league has helped develop more defensive forwards that have skill, and I think it's because like these guys are playing on the fourth line. Like Blashill was playing Lardis on the fourth line. It's to help develop that B game and the game away from the puck, and I think you're seeing that in the SHL more. You have to do that. You have to prove that you are not a liability defensively or your engagement is always up. Feel like that's kind of one of the reasons. You can't just showcase your talent like in the Q or the CHL. I feel like it's kind of similar to like the USHL where like you have to be more gritty, more defensive, can't really showcase as much of your talent there. And I think it's more fun hockey too, but it's just different type of hockey. NCAA, like you watch Western Michigan, same thing. Western Michigan, they are defending champs for a reason. They're going to be mosquitoes. Their forwards are always pushing, they're always attacking, they're always back checking. It's the same thing in those leagues. You gotta have to be able to do really, really well. Yeah, Anton Frundel's goal was awesome. That whole shift, he was great. I feel like this is a player that has star upside. I think he'll be on Connor Bedard's line for a very long time. I'm going to continue to do like I want to just do this. We got to have a reset button on this, but I don't want people to accidentally press it. But let's see here. But it was awesome of Gabe Foley to stop by. Really great stuff. And very cool that Anton got his first goal. So we're going to go Connor Bedard, Anton Frondel, and let's go Stenberg build this time. So feel like this would be really fun. Just imagine this lineup. This would be a fantastic lineup. But let's go back into the standing section. See the tank race. Big if the Rangers win the game. I mean, the Flames would go up. When do the Flames play? Okay, Winnipeg Jets just scored, so it is 1-1 now. Flames' next game is against the Knights. They'll probably lose that game. And then the Panthers continue to lose leads. Let's see. 7 minutes left in the Rangers game, 4-1. Got to keep an eye on that one. The Jets win, they're 1 point back. Wow. This is dumb. What do you mean? What's going on? They should trade for a 2C. If they win, they're 1 point back. Where are the Jets? So 76. Okay. Okay. I mean, regardless, you want the Jets to win the game, but it does hurt the Panthers. But at this point, don't even bank on the Panthers winning. They're 70. If they get 75 points, right, they'll be here. But the Jets will also win if this is the scenario, so 76, 75. But then you have to jump this, like the Leafs, even though they have 2 games in hand on the Leafs. But with this game, it would be 1, so it would be 74 games played. It's just not going to happen, I don't think, guys. I don't think that. I mean, the Sharks, it'd be tied with the Sharks. It could, but they really got to win like 6 out of their last 9 or something. I don't think they even do that. Maybe 5 out of their last 9. So 5-4. If they go 5-4 here, that'd be 10 points, 83. Is that enough to? If they go 5-5, if they go 5-4, I think they could have a chance. 5-4 seems like it is doable. Jets almost scored again. Wow. Wow. Good positioning by Knight there. Tays almost got it. That would be fun. So I'm just viewing the Blackhawks game. Trevor, definitely let me know about the Rangers whenever that one finishes. Let me know how everybody's doing tonight. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We're just continuing to run mock drafts, do player builds. That was a great mock draft with Gabe Foley. Oh, let me put this on actually. There you go. So Kevin Korchinski, from the viewings I've had since he's been back in the NHL, looks better. He looks faster. I really see upside with him. I don't want the Blackhawks to trade him for nothing. Like, he looks like a player that you just keep. I don't want to have him get traded for like a second round pick. Good save right there by Knight. Honestly, there was room to give that to Lowry there, but interestingly enough, like, I'm actually really impressed with Kevin Korchinski's game. I think that if there's a guy that could just have an inflection point, Florida's off the PK now. Let's see. I'm gonna go to scores so that we can just like watch the Blackhawks game. You guys can see the score updates. This auto updates. So 4 minutes left in the Panthers game. This will be very, very huge, obviously. Not a lot of tank games other than these two. These are two big ones. This is a big game for the Isles. Huge game for the Isles in order to have them make the playoffs. I wanted to show you guys this clip, actually. I'm going to show you guys this.
Who he reminds you of as a player when you're watching him?
Yeah, I would say a bit like a Nikita Kucherov, just with his style of play and how he's able to find guys in his IQ. And I watch Kucherov play, and I see quite a lot of Gav in him, and I know Gav kind of thinks he plays like him too. And I think mostly the way that they see the game, I think they see it a lot similar, and how they play on the power play, I think it translates a lot.
Yeah, so that was Jackson Smith, Gavin McKenna's teammate at Penn State, on his player comparison for himself. I think I had a good clip on Anton Frundell about Marcus Kruger, and that's a big one right now because obviously he took his number. Yeah, I'm going to show you guys this one. I could use this media, so.
Marcus Kruger was my captain this year, so I actually slept with him at the hotel one time, and he told me that both time he won the Stanley Cup, the whole story. But yeah, we didn't sleep. We were just talking about the Stanley Cup. I didn't stop asking questions, so I have inside information from Kruger.
He had inside info on Kruger. That's a great clip here. You guys want to see any of my other interviews or clips, go to the news section. Then you can just I have a Vaslav Neshersil interview here. I have a Caleb Malholtra interview Tynan Lawrence interview, Anton Frundell. So if you guys want to see my interview with Blackhawks Hall of Famer Jeremy Roenick, it's right here. Follow me on both of these if you guys want. No pressure, doesn't matter. But prospect pools here. If you guys want to see any prospect pools, you can see their stats. Roman Canceroff, like I've said. I don't know how many new people we have in the stream, but complete NHL rosters. See all of them. See how Beckett Seneca's doing. This dude's been on a run, 57 points in 74 games still. See how Michael Misa's doing. Michael Misa, 16 points in 35 games now. So let me know if you guys like the. Oh, I missed a goalie fight. Igor and Markstrom. Wow. That's pretty cool. Let me know if you guys do like the website, what your favorite feature is. Do you like the GM mode where you can just build your own lineups with prospects? This is something that I've really fallen in love with. If you want to do an execute trade with players or picks, you can. It's easiest to just show the Hawks because I know they have every player in. Continuing to put all the players in, like how would the Sharks and the Blackhawks be if they got Macklin Celebrini? Let's see this. The Blackhawks traded Connor Bedard for Macklin Celebrini. These would be the lines. Yeah, it should be that, honestly. And then Bertuzzi and Nazar. I know Sasha Balver is on the third line, but he shouldn't be. Or fourth line, but he shouldn't be. That's it. Artem Levshunov is out for the season. I don't know if you guys saw that. We got a goalie fight. Trevor just sent me this clip. Here you go. Here's the goalie fight. I turned the audio off because of monetization problems anyway, but jeez. Look at Shesterkin. Oh my god. Damn. Shesterkin can fight, man. He's been waiting for that. That was sick. That was pretty cool to see. Thank you, Trevor, for showing me that. That was sick. All right, I don't know if I'll stay on any longer. I've been looking at this stuff. I kind of just want to watch the Blackhawks game without like talking, but I don't want you guys just to stare at me for the entire time. I wish there was a way that you could stream games. Let's go to scores again. So the final for the Panthers, 6-3, they won. Final for the Rangers, 4-1. That's pretty big. We'll do one more standings check for the tank race. So as you can see now, the Rangers are 71 points. They're fourth. The Calgary Flames are 70. If the Blackhawks did lose this game, it would be a pretty big one for those top two odds, honestly. So it would be 75 and 67, but I think the Blackhawks will end up winning this game. I think that the energy has been really good. 9 to 12 shots. No team has really taken advantage, but wow, it is crazy that the Jets could make a playoff run for the wild card. So close how NHL teams are, like the standings are all so close. Such a competitive league. Jets were close there, but Anton Fundell is on the ice, cleared the puck. His B game has impressed me every shift. It does stink that Artem Levchinov is out for the season, obviously, but it doesn't help him. Hoping for a big offseason for him. Final scores are in for multiple games. I did check. Buffalo won. Oh, wow. Don, this is general draft question. Why is it that these 200-foot guys get hurt so much in terms of their draft stock when they've never projected in the top 10, maybe 15 or late first? Why do they? So I feel like a lot of what hype is does come into play for draft content because I think it's easier for people to get excited about, oh my God, what a save by Knight, great pass. But I think it's easier for people to get excited about the good, big, great scorers. And when you realize like the 200-foot players are more important, I think that's when these teams draft them higher than consensus. But a lot of people's consensus boards probably have the guys that, oh my God, what a save from Knight. Jesus. That should have been in a skate blade save from Spencer Knight on a Cole Perfetti slap shot. I feel that like 200-foot players are very important for the NHL, and I think that's kind of started to become in play in any sport, like even in the NBA. But the top 10 hype, it just isn't there, and I think you need to show more. But with some of these guys, like they're not putting up incredible numbers because they're playing more of their game that they already play. But in the juniors, if you're not putting up a lot of numbers, you're not going to get drafted as high. So I think the numbers come into play. I definitely think there needs to be a change, and that's why a lot of people are copying the Florida Panthers path. Because before people were copying like the skilled players, the players with incredible A games, and what are they doing around the puck? And then you see this information about how long a player has the puck on their stick, and it's like under 2 minutes a night. And then you're like, okay, then we're going to pick the guys that are good at defense too. So two-way players are very important, and they make a huge difference for NHL teams. But I think in the draft, it's a little hard to project. Like an Adam Novotny is incredible to judge a player in B game, but he's consistently in that like 15 to 20 range, not in the top 20 or the top 10, because how are you going to take him over some of these guys that are producing so much and is showing that incredible upside? So a lot of these teams draft based on upside more than anything. But the 200-foot player is the player that usually makes an impact in the NHL, even if it is a smaller impact than what a guy's offensive upside would have been. It's a give and take. Like, are you going to leave upside off the board? And if you do, you're going to look like a very bad general manager, or are you going to take the safe guy. So that's a good question, Anthony. Two-on-one break on the power play. The Jets scored. I think it was Cole Perfetti. He's been fantastic. He's definitely been. He should have scored already. So that was just a hockey guy to get me back. 2-1 Jets. They're kind of turning it on of late, but they were on a power play. These are the Tankathon standings. Anybody have any questions? Anyone want me to do a build again? Oh, wow. I love this time of year. I've not been watching any March Madness. That's the craziest part. I haven't. I think I watched one game in March Madness, and it was like 5 minutes left. I used to be a big basketball fan. Just keep coming in with the questions. I'll get to them as quick as possible. I have an interview. I have a thing tomorrow. Shopping. I don't know why it looks like that. But let's see. I have interviewed both Oliver Savanto and Pipperainen, but I have not gotten Oscar Hemming. He just didn't. He wasn't playing first half of the year, and it's pretty hard to get a guy like when he's not playing. But I talked to both Pipperainen and Oliver Savanto. I could drop some of those clips in the news section. Those were pretty good interviews. I got like Pipperainen's player modeled his game after his strengths, his underrated aspect of his game that he thinks goes overlooked. Same with Savanto. So got my usual questions in. Computer's frozen. All right, let's see. I wish Arvid was starting this game. Wouldn't yeah, it wouldn't even be close. I mean, we can't really say that. Okay. As we just said that. The Jets scored off of a grimy play off of a face off. Obviously you guys can't see it yet, but was a good first save, obviously, from Knight, but couldn't get the rebound. But it's 3-1 now. Like I've said, this is interesting for the Jets. I know Trevor's probably screaming. Let's see. What do we got on? We have 4 people on YouTube, but 404 on X. Hey, I said like Arvid, he had 50 saves in a game that the Blackhawks should have lost. Like, you don't know. You really don't know how it would have went. That's funny. Ask me anything, guys. If you guys want me to do any builds, if you guys want me to, like, I'm doing the exact same build for the Blackhawks each time, but I put Celebrini on there. It's funny. I want to try to like see. Now I did a one for the Predators. You could take a look at the Sharks, but nobody is a fan of the Sharks here. I think William Eklund could be ahead, honestly. If the Blackhawks draft Ivar Stenberg, like, that would be kind of a fun Swedish prospect to get. Or he just plays with his brother. I think the Islanders should go and get him. Let's build this for the future. What do you guys think of Askarov? I feel like Ravensburgen has been good. I have to add Ravensburgen. I haven't added him. I feel like Sam Dickinson, definitely. Yeah, they're kind of an older team. I mean, I know they have a huge prospect pool, but I gotta input a lot of the guys. I feel like they will go right-handed defenseman. I mean, they could double dip with both of their picks. Let's say they're in like, actually, let's say they go Carson Carrolls and then Pipparainen. I think that would be fun. Askarov is Skinner if he was more consistent. The Blackhawks did score 3-2. Bertuzzi. Yeah. Wow, that was a weird goal. So 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play. 3-2 Blackhawks are losing to the Winnipeg Jets. They just scored though, so it is still 3-2. After this period, I am gonna get off. I gotta eat. I'm hoping for something tomorrow. I mean, great hit by Mikhaev there. That kind of started that whole thing. That was a pretty one. Yeah, Bertuzzi's goal, he deserved that one. Felt like I've been on all day. Bertuzzi's the second coming of Patrick Kane. The spinorama is insane. Dude, if Anton Frondell did that, Could you imagine? 3-on-2 break here for the Jets. Bad pass. Doesn't make any sense why you did that. Jets have the puck in their own zone. Continue to go back from. I think they iced it. I just don't see the Jets keeping this lead. Yeah, good defense by Sam Renzel, but you have been on all day. I did a hour-long stream with Hot Take Hockey, so help him get to 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. He does incredible work. Blackhawks have the puck in the Jets' own zone. Ryan Green has the puck. He loses it. The Jets are throwing the puck to the net just to get the change. After the icing, my CHSN froze, which has actually been really good of late. Jets did have a chance there, but Bedard is with Frondell. Bedard couldn't skate through two defenders, so now the Jets have the puck in the Blackhawks' own zone. They dump it deep. Crevier has the puck now behind Knight. Knight throws it up to Bertuzzi. Anton Frondell skates the puck in. Great job with he's a player that even when the puck should be stolen away from a defender, he finds a way to use his reach and his body. Very impressive. The Jets have the puck in the Blackhawks zone. There was a chance the Jets could not score. They lose puck, but Blackhawks regain possession. Interesting. Icing, 2 minutes left, and then I'm gonna head out. But I appreciate everybody for staying with me, and that was a fun mock draft. I really appreciate everybody for coming in. If you guys want to see the website, I could drop a link in the description. Oh, not what I wanted. Let me know if that works for you guys. Jets did have a shot there, but it was really well defended by the Blackhawks. And then they might call timeout here. Well, not timeout, but I don't even know what's going on. I'm so tired. I'm hoping to be able to cover the Blackhawks practice tomorrow. I was supposed to on Monday, but it got canceled, so I really hope I can. It would be awesome. It would be my first one. Let me.
You play with Victor Eklund, and you guys have some really good chemistry. Can you kind of tell me a little bit about his game?
He's competing so much. We've been playing, a couple of seasons now together through juniors and now to the pro team in Djurgården. We know each other well. He's so good around the on the boards, winning his battles. He's not the biggest guy, even though he's strong. But when he gets into like battles, somehow he almost wins everything. So for me, it's just easy finding like an open area, finding a spot where I can shoot the puck, and his passing quality is incredible, and playmaker, like hockey sense too. It's good, and like I said, we know each other well. We're good friends, so it's fun and easy to play with him.
Anton Frundell is such a down to earth guy, man. I'm gonna have to buy a jersey again. Well, we shall see that. Let's see. So it is finalized, so it will be in the standings. I'm gonna do a standings of all, so you can see the wild cards and stuff. But I was just prioritizing on trying to get this out for the tank race too. That Rangers win was huge. I know me and Trevor will be texting about that tonight, but it's a big win. Hey Anthony, I did one of the GM things where my three centers down the middle were Barkov, Lundell, E2, and Oliver, my wing. Nice. Oliver Savanto would look great there. I think that could totally be an option if they're picking 9 or 10. Seriously. My thing is just if they're top 8, I think they got to take one of the top 8 guys. Like you got to get Carroll's in your system or Albert Smith's. That defense is really, really tough. Bennett, Adam Klepov. Wait. Oh, you got Klepov. Or no? Rogowski, my right. Oh, gotcha. You did a full. So you put multiple prospects in. Love that. Dude, the Panthers need that pick. I think are going to lose most of their games. They tanked today. They pulled a lot of their players out of their lineup. I don't think that it's going to be what Blackhawks fans want, but it would be kind of exciting for the Panthers to get a pick that high. Not to say that that's what people want, but at the same time, like Blackhawks will get 3 first-round picks anyway next year. Like it's not the worst case scenario. As Gabe Foley said, teams really want to prioritize their 2027 picks too, but getting a top 15 pick from the Panthers this year would be huge. You get a lot of value. So that would be a lot better, but it's not the end of the world. And that hopefully, the Blackhawks won't trade all 3 of the first round picks because then I can't really do a lot of Blackhawks content in terms of that, but I'm the prospect down, so I'll be covering all other 31 other teams. I've had a lot of creators tell me to stop with the Blackhawk stuff, and I know I should. It's just I grew up on the team. Blackhawks iced the puck with 18 seconds left. I'm going to end the stream after. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in. We got a good turnout today again. So thank you guys. If you guys do want to check out any of the website, definitely do so. I'm continuing to update it as we go. I think the Panthers, if there's 7, if they draft a defenseman, I don't think it'll be Albert or Carson's. It's Yuho. I don't think so. Yuho's not in that tier yet. It's the floor. Five seconds left. This period is over. So thank you guys for tuning in. And Tom Frendell got his first goal too. We did a mock draft with Gabe Foley. Really appreciate everybody for sticking on with me. I'll be back on tomorrow with Lee and Justin from Blackhawks Memes. So they do great work. They're probably streaming too. So go over there to spam Prospect Dawn. But see you guys. I appreciate it.